Boom, 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 boom. Well, I need some musical accompaniment.
Rocky got very excited.
Oh, was that sound too resonant for you, Rock? Was that too much? I picked up my ukulele today, so I'm gonna allow it to be my partner as I riff for the first 5 minutes as people join the stream. And our special guest, Nick Corso, is here. I didn't get so far as to figure out how to sing and play the ukulele at the same time. In fact, it's hard for me to hold a rhythm, but I have it now, so we'll see what happens. Corso, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. I want to just set up, see if anybody's here on Twitch. And we could do this really quick. We're going to do a giveaway tonight, and I'm going to use the Nightbot to do it. So let me open this up, and I think I've got it set up properly. The keyword is sorcerer. Right on. Nice. Corso is the first to enter the giveaway. It doesn't look like anybody else is here yet. I'm glad. I'm going to bring you up now so we can chat. This is already the new thing that I can't handle just yet. Oops. Oh, I'm so excited. Hey, man.
How's it going?
To the show. It's going good. I feel like this week I've been trying to modulate when I'm in high octane and when I'm not, and trying to find the balance so I don't have to like always be high octane when I'm coming into the space.
That's
like
fair.
Balancing the speed of NFT with the speed of life has been my biggest struggle for the last week and a half.
Yeah, there's always. I thought the project slowed down, but there's still one like every day.
And that's the thing, right? The project did slow down. We're in that quiet time. Gary's not loud yet. We haven't started and the space as a whole is like moving really fast.
Yep. Yeah, everything is. There's every project's going up. I have projects that I just kept because I was like, I'll just keep it. I'm not going to get rid of it. And they're going up. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that.
There you go. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of like computery it's not static, like that choppy computerness in your audio. I wonder if either of the two folks here can confirm or deny that on your end. My internet's been wonky. They like shut it down for a couple hours, so it could be me. You know, every night I send the StreamYard link to Gary, so tonight could be the night that he just decides, yes, I've got 2 minutes to pop in and say hello.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Is it still choppy?
It's still choppy.
Let me check on the Twitch. It sounds fine on the Twitch.
Okay. If you're fine on the Twitch, it's fine.
Okay.
Let's do an intro, shall we?
Sure.
You know, I want like that big orchestral background sound. I can't cue and provide all of the theatrical spectacle that I want to give you in this super stream that happens every single Wednesday night. But we always kick it off with the community chat. And the community chat is the vision and the ambition to speak and meet to every single befriend token holder. And we add another member of the ranks tonight in a very special capacity. Nick Corso, holder of the Gift Go number. I don't know. Can you help me out here?
I don't know.
Irrelevant.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I think everybody who watches this show already knows a lot of your story, and we can really go anywhere. But I do want to frame it from that because I know we want to talk about the NFT, and I wanted to set up Nightbot to give that command. I can do that really quick. Just tell me how it's going, man. How are you this week today?
I'm doing good. I played a little bit of volleyball this morning. That's why my face is burnt. It was so hot out.
Nice.
Because there's like a sand pit in the neighborhood near me. Like they have like a nice little volleyball court or whatever it's called. So played some volleyball. Been relaxing. I have to I'm going on vacation soon, so I'm getting some edits done before there, so I have stuff to upload while I'm not home.
Sorry, it's still staticking on my end, so I'm trying. I'm like losing a couple words here and there. What was the last thing you said?
It said I was doing some editing
Oh,
for my YouTube because I'll be going on vacation soon, so I had to get some content ready for when I'm on vacation.
oh, awesome. Yeah, you mentioned that. You probably won't be able to join us for the final Knowing Gnome raffle on next Saturday. Where are you going for vacation?
I'm going to Florida.
Nice. I don't actually know. Where are you? Where are you right now?
Delaware.
Delaware. You might be
Interesting
the
place.
first person I've ever met from Delaware.
I hear that one a lot. Nobody lives here. It's pretty boring state. But but then again, there's a lot to do. It's just like there's
Yeah.
other states that you can do better things. So
Yeah, or different things.
yeah.
Like I'm sure Delaware has a huge historical tourism
Yeah, they definitely
suite
do.
of activities, probably never ending.
Yeah, there's like Fort Delaware. There's a whole bunch of places you can visit.
So I just added this should work now. I should be able to say !Corso, and the alias you set this command to be of. Let me see. Does that link work? Yeah, it's a link.
No, it doesn't work. The link doesn't work, but
The link doesn't work.
page is lost.
I was gonna segue in a way to be like, how did you end up in the VFriends Discord? How did you come to it, and how did you become a mod?
Yeah, so I've always followed Gary on Instagram for a while. I have no idea how long. Everybody knows how long. I have no idea. But I saw he had a Discord, and I didn't know what it was for. I just like, yeah, Gary's got a Discord. I'll join it. Why not?
Yeah.
And then I saw that they were looking for staff, and so me at the time, I didn't know it was an NFT project. I kind of just saw that they needed staff members, people who were experienced with Discord. I was like, oh, it's me.
Nice.
So I messaged Zane. I had an interview, and I became a staff member. And then I realized, okay, this is an NFT project. I got to know all this. So yeah, I mean, I just joined because I saw you had a Discord, and now I'm here.
Awesome.
I didn't even know it was an NFT project. I knew what NFTs were at the time, but I didn't know it was an NFT project at all.
And how long after VFriends did you launch BitShields?
Probably a couple weeks after launch.
Yeah,
I'd say. I'm not sure the exact date.
and you've done hundreds now. Like I know, including the collaborations. What is the second collection called?
BitShield editions.
Yeah, including the editions. I know there's hundreds now.
Yeah,
How many are?
almost 100 editions. There's 552 regular ones.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to make them, and when I'm on vacation, that's something I can easily do. I still have to wipe my laptop because I haven't used it in a while, so I'm just gonna wipe it just cause, and
Yeah.
you know, use that because I still have to be doing that. Everything else, I can Discord. I can do from a laptop. No games on vacation, unfortunately. But not a big deal.
If you haven't come across the BitShield collection, this is the aesthetic. This is what it looks like. I know you recently made the transition into bucklers, right?
Yep.
That's what they're called, the round ones.
Yep. So we did 500 heater shields, which is the shield that you're seeing right now. And now we transitioned to the bucklers. So as you can see there, those are the bucklers. I
like
did the
these.
Olympic set.
I like that.
I think there's around like 20 at the floor. And then I guess there's like one person that listed theirs at the floor. So they got paper hands because we're going to the moon. So
Right.
we'll see. But yeah.
Like this one too.
Yeah, it's not the floor though. It's double,
Yeah.
So
right. Floor.
yeah, and that wheel one that you see, that's the one I just did yesterday. I just minted and dropped
The
yesterday.
wagon wheel buckler.
Yeah, those ones were fun to make. A lot of times when I'm making bit shields, I kind of just make a random design, and then I think of something that it could be, and I make it that. And then
Yeah.
sometimes I know what I'm gonna make, but sometimes I'm just like, I'm just gonna draw something and see what it looks like, and then make it that.
Hmm. I know exactly what you mean. You let the process sort of reveal what you're creating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because sometimes I have no idea what I want to make, and then I make it. So
Yeah. Well,
it's
I'm
fun.
a proud holder.
Hell yeah! I forget which one you have, but
I have the
heart.
heart
Yeah, that's a good
shield,
one.
and I have I don't know if it's called a wizard. It's like a little gnomey wizard.
We had a gnome and we had a wizard, and then the gnome one kind of had like a wizard hat type thing, and the wizard hat was more like as if the top part of the wizard hat was behind it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm calling it up right now. You know what really surprised me the other day is I started excuse me. I started using the filter ability on OpenSea.
Yeah.
Filter by collection,
Mhm.
and I was shocked at how many collections I have in my wallet because I'm picking up like one. I mean, even Max's NFTs, Dave Max the Viata, he's got like 5 different collections. They're all in separate collections. I'm just surprised. Like the list is long now, but these are my bit shields. So
Yeah,
this
those
is
are
the
good
one I was
ones.
talking about. I
Yeah,
guess
that's a gnome one.
it's not a wizard. It's a gnome.
Yeah, that one's the gnome one. So I realized after, like, the gnome hat kind of looks like a nice wizard hat, and the wizard doesn't really have the nicest wizard hat, but
Mm-hmm.
they're
Yeah,
distinct because
I really dig it.
it says them in the description that it's a wizard or or a gnome. I guess it's the way to distinguish
Hmm.
them.
You can see my story in buying this at the floor, buying this at the floor, and buying this one for 1.5 or not 1.5,
Yeah,
point
that'd be
point
insane.
one five.
Yeah, that one's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
That
me
was an early one because heart's a pretty easy thing to make.
too. Hmm.
Yeah, so I was like, just put it on a bit shield.
That's right. Nice.
Anything I think of, if I like something, like, yeah, I could probably put that on a
But
bit
I
shield,
can put it on a bit shield.
and then I do it. So
Well, maybe that's a good segue into this NFT, which we're featuring in support of you and
yeah,
everything.
Hummingbird sent me that. I was like, they said they made their first NFT. I was like, oh hell yeah, that's awesome. I was
Yes.
wondering if it was for the PLP, and then and then I read it. It says pick Nick Corso for Discord manager. It looks like a fucking like a sticker you'd
Like
give
a
out.
campaign badge.
Yeah,
It looks like a
exactly.
politics campaign badge for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I don't know if he's sending it to Gary or to Zane.
I have
But
no
I
idea.
think he is. I mean, it is my hope that after a week after this video, there are more than 100 likes on this NFT. Like that is the ask from me, and there's so many spiels that I'm having to come up with, and one of them is this, which is like the community has no influence, no real contractual influence on how the Discord manager is picked.
Yeah.
VFriends is looking for a very specific hire to not only run their Discord but scale it and integrate bots and do all the things that a number one NFT project will need in their Discord. And so the applications are now closed. Who knows how many applications they got, but I endorse Nick Corso for Discord manager.
Yeah, it was fun because I forget what I was doing when he Hummingbird's a he, right?
Yeah, Jacob.
Jacob, yeah. Okay, I was trying to remember exactly who it was. But yeah, he sent me a message. He's just like, yeah, we were talking about something. He's like, and hey, I made my first NFT. I was like, sick. And like I didn't check it right away because I was on the go, and then I came home and I checked it. I was like, oh, it's me. It says my name on it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you've just made such a huge impact. Like I've been talking about it on the podcast for a day or two, and you just seem like the obvious choice. Like from the community, you are such the obvious choice. I'm a Discord moderator now, but I don't spend as much time in the moderator channels and managing the Discord as many of the other moderators, and especially as much as you do. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to speak to that a little bit. Like, what have you been doing in the Discord? Because I know that if there's anytime there is something going on, and I check the moderator channel to see if I can help, you're already on it and working with whoever you know, coordinating and doing what you need to do. I know, and like I should shout out everybody else. You know, Storm, Crystal, Post. Like, there's plenty of moderators that are bearing the work, but like, why don't you tell the folks at home what you've been doing?
Yeah, so I mean, recently we've had those bot attacks, so we've been trying our best to figure out a way to prevent them. I don't know. We don't know exactly. We kind of have an idea of what we're doing, but we still have to implement it. And yeah, so we've been working on that, planning that. I've been writing up a sheet of ideas for the server, and you know, just moderating normally. You know, if there's a lot of people there's just people who break rules, you know, and we keep a close eye on them. Crystal's been moderating like crazy lately.
Yeah.
Like every day I wake up, she's already got like 30,000 warnings. But yeah, she's been killing it. So yeah, I mean, I haven't really been doing an extreme amount as of now. Like there hasn't been much going on, but you know, when stuff happens, you know, like we had to, like for example, when the bots came, like I said, we got the mod teams like, hey, these people are joining, and in the second attack, we didn't have a thing telling us they were joining, so I was the first person to know about it because someone sent me a message saying, hey, I got a message from this, and I was like, oh shit, it's in the Discord, it's in our Discord.
Yes.
So yeah, that wasn't fun, but I don't think anybody got hit with that one because some people in the Discord don't even know what a CryptoPunk is.
Right.
So,
Right.
which is a
Yeah,
good thing,
and I'm
you know?
trying to say it in every single piece of content now. Like,
Yeah.
I know people know, but it's not enough to know because you can still get tricked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is someone I know or who asked me for help because they signed into it and they connected their wallet, but they didn't put their seed phrase in. But they had like 5 or 6 apes in their wallet and a whole bunch of stuff. Like they could have lost big, but they were fine because what's it called? Because he didn't he
didn't put the seed
disconnected.
phrase.
Yeah, he didn't put a seed phrase in.
And he just
But I told him to make a new wallet anyways, and he transferred it all over. Just to be safe. It doesn't hurt. You may waste gas money, but I mean, you could waste gas money, or you could lose your Bored Apes. You know.
Yes.
It's not really a hard choice in that situation.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I would have offered to hold him for him. I don't know if he would have trusted me because he's from the Bored Ape community, but you know, if that needed to be done, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever to keep his Bored Ape safe, because one Bored Ape to another, we're going to the moon, and we gotta secure our assets.
Gotta hold on to it. That's right. Yeah, I'm so stoked for everybody who was in on that project.
Yeah, we in the clubhouse. I think Brian. Well, that's where like we all bought it. Like, I think I brought it up or Brian brought it up. Oh yeah, Brian bought the 5 ETH one, and I was like,
yeah, the gold.
The gold one. And man, if he kept that, no regrets. But if he kept that, it would have been like a gold ape just sold for 400 ETH. So,
yeah.
So
he's struggling right now. I talked to him today about it. He's making a big crack about it because that's what else can you do? You know, you just have to laugh at yourself.
Yeah. Oh no, I laugh at myself too because I had an ape I bought for 1.8 and I sold it for 1.85 because the floor went down after I bought it and then it went back up and I was like, I'm just gonna sell, and then it kind of sat there for a bit and now it's at 15 ETH. So
yeah,
you know, I missed out, not as much as him, but I definitely missed out on a big bag. But I don't regret it, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
there are
but I don't hold
bags.
Yeah,
there are plenty of bags to pick up along the way.
Yeah, and it sucks though because I want to flip my it, but I don't because I love it. It kind of speaks like as me because it has like a lazy, bored look to it, and that's you know I guess that's kind of me, or like a confused look in a way.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, I don't know, because I like this YouTuber called Creations Ross Creations Ross is his, I think is what's it called? I think that's his website. Um,
Okay.
but he has this character where talks he talks like a toddler, and he has like the same look of my bored ape. So that was another reason. And my bored ape has a propeller hat, and it's crazy because in his videos he would also have a propeller hat sometimes with that same
Hmm.
look. So it not only reminded me of him, but that's kind of like the look I like. That's a funny look to me. That's just like a me, you know. So
Yeah.
it sucks that it's like that because I want to flip it, but I'm not going to. Because of
And
how
that's
it just represents me.
that's like exactly like the power of everything that's happening. Like I'm sure you've thought about like doing derivatives of your ape, because if you're going to hold it, you might as well, use it,
Profit from it,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, what, profit or not, like still there's a lot of fun to be had with using that as your PFP, and you personally, Corso, have an affinity for that and that aesthetic. And like if you find those tokens that you can identify with, that somehow they feel like they reveal you. You feel like
Yeah.
you're more of yourself somehow, that you have this image. Yeah, people definitely need to be getting derivatives, or just asking artists in the community to create derivatives. If you're not the one to create them, like I think I've just been thinking about it a lot, especially as I've bought in a couple projects that the floor is not really moving. Like, yeah, I can hold it for a long time and hope, but I am holding this thing. What can I do with it? Like, I bought it because I like it,
Yep.
yeah, I want to talk about that more. I feel like people don't acknowledge that derivatives are new NFTs that could be making you money, just by putting in the effort, putting in, like, creating the brand is however you want. And I know a lot of people are doing that, but it bears repeating.
Yeah, I mean, I thought of making like a merch shop for my board ape, but that doesn't really appeal to a lot of people necessarily. It would be easier for mine because it doesn't have, like, the body doesn't have clothing on it, because a lot of people's, that's the main thing. Like, it has a golden jacket, so
Right.
I can just use the head of mine, because that's all it is that's really there. So that's something I thought of, because I can easily put that on a hat or on a shirt. But I don't know. I plan on at least making one batch of everything so I can wear it. Whether it's embroidered or not, I don't really know. Well, I'll figure
Yeah.
it out. But I feel like an embroidered hat is a must. I'm not gonna no
Wow.
bullshit.
You just made me think that, like, sooner than later somebody is gonna want like the whole sweatsuit for their ape.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like the
I was
color
thinking
will
about
be their skin, whatever the fur is, and
that'd
then
be
the
sick.
hood will have the whole image, and you have like,
One of those zip up hoods that goes over your face.
yeah, exactly, and you'll have the details around the cuffs and like the zipper. It'll be their perfect fit, but like it makes you look like your ape.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah,
It will be sick.
yeah,
Like,
it will
I
be.
guarantee you we'll see that before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year, that'd be pretty cool. I was so close to getting one of the Bored Ape hats from the merch drop they had.
Yeah.
There was stuff left. I was going to process it, and my PayPal wouldn't work, so I typed in my card information, and by the time I did that, it said they were sold out. All because my PayPal
Yeah.
didn't connect. It was so unfortunate. But I got a shirt. The shirt was all right. They had the hoodie they had was like a heavyweight hoodie. I was like, I don't want that. It was like
Mm.
$70 heavyweight hoodie. It's like,
Yeah, I'd want a
nah.
hat too.
Yeah. They only had 500 black hats and 100 red hats. The red hat sold out pretty quick. I thought I
Yeah.
was gonna get the black hat. I was so close, but
Yeah. I feel
I'll
like
get.
this is the same thing that happened with Avastars yesterday. So many people, like, they've done a drop before, they thought they were ready, and then in the moment, either like their MetaMask, they had to reconnect, or their gas was giving them an error, or something happened.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues at all. The whole mod squad didn't. I think someone's was a little slow, but we were all in the VC for the most part, and
Yeah, mine went quick as well. I
yeah.
inputted it within a minute, like
Yeah.
what actually felt like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I put on
And
fast gas. It definitely wasn't needed, but
yeah,
well, maybe it was for some people. If they put fast gas, they might have gotten one if they didn't. But
Yeah.
When I did it, I don't think I needed it. I was one of the first.
Something that's kind of interesting about that is like, I was curious to see how active the user base, the holder base is for this moment.
For
Like,
friends.
yeah, like granted, maybe not everybody's interested in this Avastars thing, and it only happened over the course of like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So it's not like you had a lot of time to catch it.
Mhm.
But, you know, with certain drops where there are 5,000 people trying to mint at the same time, they sell out in a second with similar supply or more or less. So I was curious to see, and it took about half an hour for all of them to be claimed.
Yeah.
And there were 1,727 in total. So it's just really interesting that the VFriends holders were able to claim 1,700 tokens in half an hour.
Yeah, I definitely thought it'd go faster, but gas shot up, and nobody's gonna pay that kind of gas for a free thing, you know. I think the highest I was gonna pay was the floor, is what I said. I said if it's the floor,
Right.
I'll pay that for gas, because I'm getting I don't have to pay gas on top of it. I'm just paying the floor.
Yeah, I didn't have to pay that much gas. I paid 0.015. It was about $50.
Yeah, I think mine was like a little cheaper, but it was something around there.
Yeah.
And I got a nice one. I like mine. So
yeah, nice. I'm not crazy about mine, but I like it.
Have you seen mine? Like, it looks like a normal person. Like, it looks normal.
Oh no, I haven't seen it. Go ahead and.
I had it as my profile picture, and then I was trying to just to see, because I think what I might do is just change my profile picture every day on Discord to one of my NFTs I have. Because I want to use my Bored Ape, my Gutter Cats. I want to use my Lemur again. I haven't used that in a while. I just want to, just change, but at the same time, I don't want to confuse people that rely on looking at the picture to know it's me.
Yeah.
Here's mine. I'll drop it in the Twitch chat.
Awesome.
I don't know which one's better, that or the other, but that's mine. I love it. It's great. Like, it looks like an actual person. So yeah, I don't know. And it's got a legendary trait, an epic trait, so I can't complain.
Oh wow, you know what? This is cool. I got the token right after you.
Oh, really?
Yours is 23,277. Mine is 20. Oh wait, not right after you actually. Mine is 23,377. It's 100 after.
That's so cool.
But it's one number off.
One number off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love mine. I don't know.
I like it. It's super clean.
Yeah, like it doesn't have like any like weird features to it. Like, I think that's a thing that attracts people to their project, but that's a thing that kind of that was one of the reasons why I didn't buy into them. Like, I looked at them when they were at the floor, and that was one of the reasons I didn't buy into them, because I was just like, I want something that looks normal, like a normal person. Not that abnormal's bad, but no,
but that's what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the hair color, and also the little speckles over the eyes match the background really well.
Oh yeah. And then the little smirk. I don't know. Is that a smirk? I don't know.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know if they call it a smirk.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's called in there. But
half smile left.
Half smile left. Interesting way to put it.
Oh, and some rare traits. The eye color.
I forget which one. I forget which one was a legendary trait.
Cat eyes.
But it has one legendary trait and epic trait. So I was happy.
I think it's probably the glitter. It's just the rarest of them all.
It definitely could be. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I'll show you mine real quick.
Sure.
Let's see. See, this is what I mean. In my filter, I have just like, I don't know, a dozen or more collections now.
You saw what Becky was doing with the Fame Lady Squad, right? Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
She got the contract. I'm confused. Like, they just gave her the contract?
I mean, I don't know the technical process, but what happened was, after everything came to light, Becky started a Discord that is now called Phoenix Rising, or I think it's Project Phoenix. And it was just everyone from the community like reckoning and being like, what do we do? Like this, processing everything. And she was super vocal. And so during that time, Art Chick, who's like a NFT influencer, I'm not sure. She's one of these people that like I keep seeing on Twitter, but I haven't been able to like dig into her history to understand what she's done. But I think she created World of Women, right? She's on the creation team of that.
I have no idea, honestly.
I'm not sure, but regardless, she was active in Fame Ladies and brokered a deal to get the actual contract address for the Fame Ladies squad from those guys, and she had it, and then she transferred it to Board Becky.
Yeah, so I mean, what I heard is, and this is what I heard. I have never really read into Art Chick, so if she ever watches this, this is just from what I've heard. People said that she wasn't that liked for that position in the community or something like that, so that's why Becky has it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that means because she's with World of Woman. I really don't know what she's with.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I think Becky's a great person for it. She's done a great job so far, and she was active in the clubhouse with V Friends.
Really
so
cool. Yeah, I had her on the community chat, and it was before she had started the Board Becky thing, and like she just has such a great vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I thought that as we wrap up, because we're expecting Tyler any minute now, and literally as I said that, he popped into the room. Tyler, I'll bring you up in a second. We should talk about what improvements you'd like to make to the Discord, because for those who didn't hear at the beginning, the like big ask right now is to go to this NFT on OpenSea and favorite it, so we can put some. If you agree with what I'm about to say, which is Nick Corso is the obvious choice to take over for Zane as Discord manager with his experience and his contribution over the last 3 months to be friends. And I could say a lot more, but I personally applied for this job, and I want Corso to get it, because reading their description, like they're looking for someone who has experience scaling and working with bots. And I don't know, Corso, maybe the bots thing isn't as like strong of a skill as like your community management. I don't know where you're at with that, but either way, I just feel that like your relationship to the Discord is unlike anybody else in the community that I know. And so even though the community can't elect you or hire you, I would like to endorse you, and I want as many people as possible to like this NFT, because Jacob Brown made this NFT to send to Gary, I presume, or Zane, to sort of show our community support.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I mean it.
So to bounce off the first thing you said, like ideas. So actually someone reached out to me about, because I guess they're not that active in the Discord, so they didn't even know about the thing until after. And he was like, maybe like because I guess and he was right. Most of the announcements for it were in general chat. There was only one announcement, unless I missed one. There was only one announcement.
Yeah, one maybe two.
And that was right before it. That was 20 minutes before it. I don't think there was any other announcement. So, I mean, that's one thing. Make sure we do that, because just in case someone's not as active and they hop on and they miss that ping about it, and then the day of they miss it like he did, then that's one less person who could have gotten it. And we want all the V Friends owners to get that opportunity to claim something for free. Although at the same time, it's like if you're really active, like you get rewarded in a sense.
Right.
So I think there's a little bit of both. I don't know if that's what the team intended when they did it, or they just happened not to post it in announcements. I think it could be either. And so I don't know. I think at least announcing it like a couple days before in announcements would be, something for any collab we have in the future. And then, I have ideas for bots we want to add. No idea if we will, but we'll figure out what we need.
Yes.
If I get the position, and there's definitely a lot of bots. So I don't necessarily know how to program bots, but I know a lot of bots out there, and I know how to use them. It's funny because the thing said you needed to know how to do that, and I've always wanted to learn that. So I guess it could be a good time to learn it. I don't know if I'll even need it, but if I do, I've always wanted to learn how to program a Discord bot, just because I feel like it'll be a cool thing to do, and you learn how to code, you learn another language. So
awesome.
So
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. who knows? But
Whoever gets it's going to be the person for the job for sure. It's
Yeah,
not going to be like
100%.
I doubt it'll be. This isn't supposed to sound rude or anything, but I doubt it'll be some random person that we don't know. Like I feel like it's going to be someone we know. I mean, it could be, and if it is, they're definitely fit for the job if they got it right.
Yeah, agreed. I think
don't-
you're right though that they're looking at the moderators as like an easy hires because Gary's thing is also hire fast, fire faster. So like
Yeah, and none of the moderators since whatever got fired. I think like one or two quit, but nobody's ever got fired. So
yeah,
it's only up for us
that's right.
one way or another. So
Cool, man. Well, I'm gonna bring up Tyler and we can all convene for a moment and then we'll pass the torch.
sounds
So
good.
it's fun when we get to have two at a time. Welcome, Tyler Dowdle.
Hey guys, what's up?
How's it going,
Thanks
Tyler?
for having me.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet
You
you.
too. We're just chatting about VFriends, Corso, Discord, NFTs. This is the community chat. So the ambition is to meet every single token holder and or community member in VFriends. So
Cool.
I'm excited to hear your story. I mean, someone like messaged me. I don't remember who it was, but they were like, "You need to meet Tyler. He's got an amazing story." They gave me a brief on it, and I was like, "Wow, yeah, let's do it." And we're compressed for time, but this can be the first of many, and I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
And Corso, do you want to share the last word before you bounce?
I don't know. Have a good night, everybody.
Right on.
Enjoy the show. I'll be watching the interview. Is it really an interview? It's just kind of like a chat,
Yeah, this is
I'll be watching the chats.
Watching
with
the
everybody.
chat.
So, yeah.
Cool.
And also, real quick, I think, I to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if this is public, but Zane's last day's Friday. I think it might be public. I don't really know. If it isn't,
I don't think it is.
Well,
I mean, I haven't seen it. I've only seen it in the moderator chat.
I haven't looked enough.
I thought what was private was where he's going. That's what I've been sensing.
Yeah, I think that's the private. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that
Yeah.
whoever gets the job, it'll be soon. So that'll be cool to watch. Whoever gets.
Yeah, I'll have to check if that's public because if it is, I would like to put it in the weekly news tonight. That's the first time I'm hearing it.
And if it's not, everybody forget what I said.
Yeah, I'll stop saying it.
Yeah, I'll check, but I don't know. Now that I think about it, I don't think it was said. But I mean, it would be said eventually, so it doesn't.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's sad.
It's sad,
but
it's very sad. But he is moving on, but he's not going anywhere at the same time.
Yeah.
Like he's still the kind warrior. I'm sure he's still going to be
the epic kind warrior.
The epic kind warrior.
Epic.
The go epic. Yeah. So like, and I kind of expect him eventually to maybe do a little video update like he did before, just to say like, when either he's ready to share where he's going or he just wants to say thanks and goodbye.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you guys get to it.
Cool,
Thank
man.
you for having me on.
Thanks for being on.
All
Peace
right,
out.
later, Corso.
Oops. Hey, Tyler.
All right, what's up, man?
It's good. My audio's been choppy tonight, so forgive me if I asked you to repeat things.
Okay, yeah,
it's
no
not
worries.
on your end. He said it's good on Twitch, just me. Man, I'm so happy to have you on. So I don't know if you've seen this show before, but it's super casual. I mean, typically it's like, who are you? How did you find Gary? VFriends? What the hell was all that? Do you hold any? And the story. But it's really just a proxy to get to people's passions and get to know people in the community. So
Cool.
This is our time. Welcome.
Awesome. So I guess we'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So I've been following Gary for over 5 years now, probably. So I work in social media marketing. So for me, like he's
an icon,
and he's the guy who knows how to do everything.
Yeah.
So I've been following him for a while and had been seeing him like promoting the whole 5/5 thing. But basically up to like a week before VFriend launched, like I was pretty set on not buying any, and like not because of Gary or like anything to do with the project. It was just like I just wasn't bought into NFTs. It was like it's too early for me. It's too big of an investment. And then one of my buddies was like, "Hey, I know you're a big Gary Vee fan. Like, I'm sure
Did
you're
you hear?
buying." Yeah, he's like, "I'm sure you're buying his NFT." I was like, "All right, maybe I'll look more into it." And then like that night, I like set up the MetaMask, loaded it up with ETH, like got ready for it.
Wow.
And then was super obsessed with it basically since then.
And was that like 5/5? Was that the very beginning of May, or was that after? Okay, yeah, that was
so I was
such a
ready on
crazy
5/5
time because literally 5/5. I could be getting this wrong. I think it's actually the launch day. Basically, between 5/5 and 5/11, when the project launched, was when Ethereum had that spike, and I think the 11th was the all-time high of Ethereum so far.
Yeah,
So,
which was insane.
Very, very. I mean, not quite a 2x from where we are now, but still more than $1,000 up. So
yeah. So when I bought it, it was like around 3K. So it wasn't peaking, but it was still like relatively high compared to what it had been in the past.
Yeah. And how did you choose your V friend?
So I ended up buying an optimistic otter core at launch. And like the otter is just like I've always like found them fascinating, like as animals. Like I think like second grade I did like this project on otters, and like so I always found them fascinating. And then I was trying to line up the traits with like something that aligns with Gary's world that I could see future IP for, and then also just something that I resonated with, and optimism, something that that I would describe myself as. So I went with that guy. I bought him for like 0.7.
Nice.
And then I was just gonna call it quits there. And then like a few days later, like when everything was sitting on the floor, and Gary's like, buy more. Like this is the time. So like screw it, I'll go all in.
It really was.
Yeah. And then bought a very rare courageous cockatoo. And basically just bought that to try to flip it just for a profit. I was like slightly over invested at the time. So I was like, I'll just try to buy this and hopefully the price goes up sometime in the near future.
And then you had a pretty wild journey since, right? That flipping led to quite a few good buys, is my understanding.
Yeah. So I ended up selling the cockatoo like 2 weeks after sellout for about 3 ETH. So I made basically double my money. And then everything just kept going up from there. So I was like, I need to get back in and like really ride this wave out. So then I bought a hustling hamster basically for the 3. And then a few flips later, I had a core tidy troll and I still had the otter. So I was going to hold the otter for like a while. And then once I had the 2 cores, I was like, I want to kind of climb the rarity ladder now, try to get one really good one that I like. So I was trying to trade the 2 of those for an epic or a nice very rare. So I agreed with a trade for a guy for my two cores for one of his epics.
Nice trade. Fuck. That you can't pull that today. Not unless you have like a really good character that they want. I don't think you can pull that anymore.
No, absolutely not. And like, so this is kind of where things go south. So we agreed to the trade, and then he was like, how do you want to do it? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel comfortable doing like direct MetaMask. Like this is before I knew about NFT Trader and SudoSwap. So he was like, oh, I'll grab an admin from the Discord. He'll middleman it, and then like we'll just do it that way. I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm doing the safe thing. Like this person is super trustworthy.
Yes.
So then I got put in a group chat with the guy and what appeared to be Andy Kranak. Which I guess, like looking back, like there's so many things that should have been red flags for me. I was like, why is Andy doing these trades? He's the president of VFriends. Like,
right?
Doesn't he have something more important
to
do?
But hindsight is always 20/20 with this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just super excited about it. And then the guy who was impersonating Andy was like, just send me your tokens. I'll send them to the other guy. He'll send them direct to you once I tell him like that they're good. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I sent them to Andy, or who, Andy.
Yeah.
And then the group chat just disappeared. And like, I've used Discord before, but I didn't know that like you can just like get kicked from a group chat and then you can't access it anymore. So
Yeah.
like, it was just gone forever.
Yeah.
So then I started to panic and like message in the group like, oh my God, I think I just got scammed out of like the only 2 V friends that I had.
And what happened
So
next?
I mean, then there was like, so I messaged with Zane and like a few of the mods. So Ben Kessler, who I believe was who referred me to you.
Yes,
He
that's
was
right.
one of the first ones to message me and was like, just kind of talking me through it.
Wow. Shit.
And we were just like trying to figure out basically what we were going to do. And I mean, long story short, there's not much that you can do. Like everything's anonymous, like the blockchain's unforgiving.
Yeah, there's no insurance.
Yeah. So it was an expensive lesson to learn for sure.
Yeah.
So then a few weeks go by and like Ethereum is kind of dipping a little bit. It's down towards like 1800. And I'm like, and the floor basically for VFriends is sitting pretty still. It's at like 4 roughly.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy a bunch of Ethereum, like try to go all in on just getting a core and then kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
So I bought 4.5 and then ended up getting a core Magpie for 3.7. So I got it like relatively cheap. I was like, oh, maybe I'll sell this for 4.1 and then kind of flip my way from there. And
Back.
just, yeah. So basically like the goal was just to accumulate some of what I had lost. Like that was basically the goal, just to try to make up that financial gap.
Yeah.
And then, so I was trying to sell the Magpie for a while, and then I connected with a guy who had a core German Dragon, and then so we traded the Magpie plus 0.6 ETH for the Dragon.
Okay. Good trade.
Yeah, so I was like, and he was happy with it because he got some liquidity and still got to keep a V friend. So that's like what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I got a Dragon for 4.3. Like that's a good deal.
Yeah. Especially today. I think a Dragon sold for almost 10 recently.
Yeah. So then I was trying to sell the Dragon. I was like, I can get at least 6 to 6.5 for this. And like really, like then like there's a lot of the money that I had lost already. And then I ended up trading that for a very rare baboon. After a series of like this guy wanted the Dragon. He was like, all right, I'll go buy this baboon and then like instantly trade it with you for the Dragon.
Wow.
Yeah, so then I got that, and then I just threw it up on OpenSea for like 7.5, and like 2 hours later, it got bought. So I was like, okay, now I have like a decent amount of Ethereum, like have a little bit of profit stacked up, and then where did I go from there?
Wow, I'm impressed already.
Yeah, yeah. So at that point, I was like kind of building some momentum. And then, so I bought so then I started just throwing out some WETH, some wrapped ETH offers on OpenSea and grabbed a core hype horse for 3.7.
Great.
Nice. Yeah. So I was happy with that snag. I actually ended up using that in a trade. And then, so while I'm flipping VFriends, I've been flipping a few deadheads as well. So I made a little bit of profit there. Because it was super early deadheads at the time. So then I saw that one of the bots had picked up a lit lamb for 3 ETH. So they like basically stole that. So I messaged them immediately. It was like, I'll buy it for 4, like, because I knew that I could get at least like 4.6 or 4.7 for the lamb.
Yeah.
So then I made that deal, sold the lamb for 4.8.
And you messaged the lamb because it was Raw's bot? Did you know it was Raw? Because
No, it was the other bot, VMaster.
yeah,
And I
okay.
ended up like finding them in the Discord. I found them on Twitter too. Like I was pretty determined to find them.
Yeah, fair. Okay, that's how it happened. Because like you say, oh, I saw they got this and messaged them. People are like, I didn't know you could message on OpenSea because that's a function that they probably, I imagine they won't ever add it because it just adds a whole layer of complication to the market. I don't know if they really want to go there.
Yeah, and like OpenSea, you can be anonymous if you want to.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I found them on Discord and then messaged them.
And they took
and
4.
Then, yeah, they took 4. So they made 1 ETH profit, and then I basically just took the rest of it. And then from there, I took that ETH, and how did I? So I ended up with a very rare dragon.
Back to the dragon.
Yeah, back to the dragon. So I was like climbing the dragon ladder almost. So at this point, I have a very rare dragon. Oh, and I ended up trading the hype horse plus some ETH for the dragon. That's all I got.
Got it.
And then, so at this point, I just have the dragon, and I have like a few, like World of Women, a few. I had like a Wicked Cranium. So then, once I got the dragon, I listed it on OpenSea for like 14.5, and then like 5 minutes later, Gary comes in and is like, "This one is so fire! Like, if this is yours, please consider relisting." And I was like, "I just listed a very rare at 14.5. Like at the time, like they were selling for like 6, like 7." So I was like, "Wow, like this must be a big one." And then I was like, maybe I could try to flip this like immediately for a spec. So like basically my goal was like, once I got the dragon, I was like, I might be able to do this like where I can just get to the top of the ladder.
Yes.
So then I found a guy who had a spec, and he was very interested in the dragon. So we ended up making a deal for the my very rare dragon, 2 of my World of Women, my cranium, like a little bit of ETH. So I was like throwing everything I had at him.
Wow.
And then so I ended up with a bubblegum Woody Weasel. So
nice.
Climbing that ladder. So I was super happy with that.
Oh my God. And is that where you are now, or have you continued?
So I traded the Weasel. So basically my goal, like end goal, is just to get a spec that I like really like the character. And I'm just gonna hold that. So I didn't love the Weasel. I like that it was bubblegum because I like those specs. But just wasn't super down with the character. So I was like, I'll trade it. So I just traded it for some ETH and 2 rares. So now I'm trying to sell the rares, and then I'm going to go back spec hunting. So that's where I'm at now.
Wow. I was just about to ask, like, have you thought about flipping into 2 characters to balance out, actually be able to take some money off the table, secure what you spent and lost before?
Yeah, no, that is a good idea as well, and it's something I'm like also considering.
Yeah, the other day someone came in Discord to say that they put their family savings into VFriends and now it's 3x. And Gary said to take one off the table and let the 2x ride. House money.
Yeah, because I mean that 2x is going to be 4x very soon.
Sooner than later. It was wild what happened this week with the spike after the announcement, up to the announcement and after the announcement.
Yeah, I mean things like out of nowhere just took off. We went from like 5 floor to 8 floor in like a day.
Yeah, there were some tokens that you could have flipped them near the top of that and picked up 2 tokens. Like,
yeah, it's insane.
Yeah,
like you could have just like bought it at floor and then relisted at the new floor and then just like kept riding that wave up.
Yeah. What you're doing by like taking your pot and making it bigger and then putting the whole pot back into the next flip is like my biggest struggle trying to do it. Because
I mean, it is kind of an all-in approach, and you gotta, like, I've been very diligent with like the OpenSea research, and I'm in the Discord basically all day. Like, so I'm always like figuring out like, okay, how much is this worth? Like, what are people's thoughts on this?
Yeah.
So because if you make a bad deal, then obviously that hurts a lot more if you're all in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm much more spread out than all. I just started. I spent about not quite 2 ETH, and I have like 8 tokens to flip from from different projects. Like I have a penguin,
nice.
I have a World of Women, I have a Wolf Gang, and I don't know, some other stuff. A Lazy Lion, that's the other one.
Nice.
But it's like also time in the market is hard to really get used to for me.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just have to let the project grow.
Yeah, and that's really hard, especially like when you mint a project, it's like, all right, what can I flip this for? But it's like then there's that few month like quiet period while they're still developing the rest of the project.
And some projects are like Bored Apes, and like you hold it for another month, and it's worth a whole lot more.
Yeah,
you know, like not every project will be Bored Apes, obviously,
right.
But like I feel more and more that there is a project like that launching every week, and you know, for a lot of them, we just don't know it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just kind of buried in the 100 projects that also release that day. So it's
yes,
you know, it's all about picking your spots.
Yeah, exactly. We're running a little short on time. We usually do this for an hour. I'm just sort of reflecting out loud that like the hour is nice because with half an hour, you don't have enough time to not necessarily get bored with the conversation, but let the conversation completely play out.
Right.
And then there's that open space where, you know, something surprising comes up.
Right.
But that was an epic story. Epic.
Yeah, it's been quite the ride, and now I'm just trying to figure out basically what to do next, and like obviously kind of risk management, but also like wanting a spec so bad.
Yeah. Well, and you're in a good spot, right? Because with 2 rares, what are the characters you have right now?
It's a witty weasel and a articulate armadillo.
Nice.
So they're you know, they're not the top characters, but I mean, there's obviously room to grow with them, and I can like I'm looking to sell them. So if you're buying rares, hit me up on Discord.
I mean, and what is the floor on rares right now? Is it 8?
No, it's like 9? It's 9.97. I think there's like an inchworm or something sitting there.
I mean, that makes sense that it's landing at 10 because cores were pushing that during the spike.
Yeah.
I mean, cores were selling for more than that, but they were trying to like get above, like stay above 9. And I don't think it really worked out, right? I don't know what the buy it now floor is right now, but I feel like the demand floor is at like 7.5.
Yeah, I think like before I hopped on, it was like 7.75 was like the lowest available. But
I love that you know the price before you hopped on. You are no, it's a lesson to me, and I think anybody who's watching that like there is a full-time requirement for the flipping. Like there is a way to do it not full-time, but like to really like be on the pulse, know when to get in on a project, get out of a project. Obviously, you're working in VFriends, so at least primarily, or as your central. So like you know you have a good project to flip with, but you know anything can happen. There's macro moves all the time. Like this week, I literally saw my flip bag go from fine to like halfway zero because of Fame Lady Squad because I have 2 of them.
Right.
And they looked interesting at 0.01, but I was never going to buy them because there was just maximum uncertainty. And I actually was in that recovery Discord, the Phoenix project, very early on. I was like, okay, something's going to come of this. I'm going to hold. I actively decided not to take the 0.03 offer on my Fame Lady, like the bot offer. I'd just be like, you know, sell at a loss. But I could have 10x my entire bag by going all in on Fame Ladies just in the last couple of days. And there's things like that you just can never know. But being really present because you could have, instead of buying at 0.01 when there was no hope for the project, you could have bought at 0.02 when you saw that the project was getting bought up and building momentum and having a new moment. So
yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I chose, instead of kind of when I bought back in, like instead of trying to find that gold mine project, I stuck to what I knew and was like, all right, I'll spend this kind of high amount of money to buy back into VFriends because this is what I know. This is what like I truly think is going to be the project. Like I'm super bullish on it.
Yeah.
So let me put my money here and then try to figure out from there.
Yeah, I'm sorry we only have 2 more minutes because you're making me think. During that spike, I was thinking very hard about selling a VFriend, and
yeah, I mean, not a bad time to sell.
Yeah, well, we had a pool of 3 people and we bought 4 tokens. So the 4th token we bought that we intended to flip was actually the Willful Wizard, which is an awesome token. Yeah. But now knowing what an awesome token is, like Alex wants to keep it. Totally cool with that. So the other one, the one that we got for him first was the Perceptive Puma. And up until this week, the Perceptive Puma was just any other, mid to low range core token. It's in the bottom, the last 100.
Right, but then it got that kind of golden touch from Gary.
It got the golden touch, and then one sold today for 9.8.
Yeah,
something like that. Above 9.
So obviously there's got to be something going on on the back end with that.
Yeah, and that's almost enough to jump the rarity scale and buy a rare.
Right.
Or trade.
I'm trying to sell my rares for less than that right now just to get liquidity.
Yeah, there you go. Like, that it's hard for me to want to go all in like that. Like the time between where you take the liquidity and then you're finding the deal. Like, obviously, maybe this is obvious. I would much rather have the deal set up, because I don't want to be out of a VFriend.
Right. That's the fear, is you sell and you're sitting on this ETH and then announcement comes, everything takes off and you're left holding the bag. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was fantastic. Thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story.
Yeah, it was great. It was great meeting you, and I really enjoyed it.
Likewise. So we're gonna hop over to Clubhouse now. I'm sure they've already begun. And I'll actually. You have a Clubhouse invite, Tyler? You're on it.
Yeah, I can just hop right in.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in on my phone real quick just to say hello. I put the audio through the stream, so I have to have it connected to my computer. And okay, everybody's here. Great. I'm gonna go ahead and pull you down from the stream. Okay. Oh, I didn't see all these awesome comments come in. I was on the wrong page. Oh, thanks for
I haven't been looking at chat.
Yeah. Let me check out chat real quick. Oh, my head is spinning. Yeah. Oh, wow. People really loved your story. I'm sorry I didn't see this as it was happening.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that they could reach out from here.
I mean, your story in a nutshell is absolutely incredible. You went from scammed to a spec. That's what I got in this comment. Like, this right here is just mind blowing. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna bring up. I don't know what the sound levels are gonna be like with this. No, I'm not gonna pull you down just yet. So feel free to talk to the chat.
Yeah, what's up, James? What's up, Ben? Thank you guys for watching. So nice you guys watch.
Hey, everybody.
For a few days, and I've been trying to save money, but today,
can they hear me or is it just you?
There's moods where, fuck it, I'm gonna treat myself.
No, they can't hear you. They can't hear you. I'm playing a weird game. I have Tyler on the Twitch, but he can't speak to you through the Twitch. And I'm about to. I think I've connected the sound. Can Twitch confirm for me that you can hear Clubhouse? Clubhouse, will you sing us a song for Twitch?
I can hear it through my end.
Oh, great. Hey. Sorry, I feel like I shoehorned into the rhythm of the conversation. What's going on?
I was just opening it for you.
Thank you. Hey, Stephen and Nadine. Hey, David, Sherry, Fallon. Oh, I haven't seen some of you guys in a bit. If anybody wants to chat, please come up on stage. The format for the evening is to chat a bit about the weekly news, sort of make sure I've checked all the boxes for the biggest stuff, and then we'll record the podcast. And I want to introduce you to Tyler Dowdle, and also I'm not sure if Corso's in here yet or if he's able to come still. But when we started this Wednesday weekly, it was meant to not only be the weekly news, but also go deeper / continue the conversation with our community chat guest that night. And Tyler Dowdle, Tyler, have you come in yet? I don't see you. Should I wait until you're here?
Let me hop in now.
Okay. When Tyler comes in, I'll introduce him. But he just told us an incredible story, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So yeah, again, if you're in the audience, please feel free to request and come up. I thought I'd share what I saw as the biggest news, because it was a big week in VFriends. And I say that every week, but it's true every week. And I'd love your help, just like checking to make sure there's not anything major I've missed, because we had the Hangout Hawks were announced. There was the Avastars drop. There was a Discord manager form that was open and closed. We have a Go giveaway going on with the comic on Gary's Instagram. Sadly, more people were scammed this week. So we need to be continually reminding people that never to share your seed phrase. And this is like technically one of the most exciting thing for me is we had record sales that actually broke our average sales per day out of the range we were in. And it looks like cores are not going below 7.5 for now. Like we were in a sideways range for 2 or 3 weeks, and we are back in an uptrend. It's pretty amazing. With all the hype leading up to the PLP announcement and the Avastars announcement. So that's basically what I have. I don't know if anything stands out that I might have missed, and anyone wants to contribute to the weekly news.
Hey Jeremy, is it 100% confirmed that it's a Goo giveaway? Because I remember him saying, you'll be happy if you respond to this Instagram post, but I don't remember seeing a Goo specifically.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good clarification. Thanks for bringing that up. It's not 1000% confirmed, but I'm making a bit of a leap in logic, just because his comment specifically said that whoever does it will be very happy, and then let's go. So I could be wrong.
No, that's totally fair. I didn't see him specifically say it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the VCon thing. Like he hasn't said VCon is May 19th to the 22nd, but I feel like I have a pretty good sense of when he's implying something, but I'm not affiliated with VFriends, so I have no better clue than anybody else does. I just speculate, I suppose, at the end of the day. But it seems like it, because it's like answer the question, the winning reply gets something fun, like really fun. Let's go. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
I'm with you, man.
I was telling Corso in our community chat that my biggest struggle over the last week or so has been balancing the pace of my life with the pace of the NFT space. That like sometimes I'll come to NFTs and it's high octane, and while urgency is a great essence of life, like I don't live my life in high octane all the time, but it comes with me when I'm coming back to like regular life, or whatever that means. And I felt myself in that breath being like, yeah, there's no need to rush. We're just having a conversation. Hi, Christy. Hi, Nick. What's up, Mark? Yeah, this is good to give people some time to come in. Hey, Mary and Demetrius. Thanks for joining, Holly
What's up,
and
guys?
Carlos. Tyler Dowdle's on stage. So the Cliff Notes version of the title of the story that Tyler just told us on Twitch is that he went from scammed to a spec by reinvesting in VFriends after being scammed out of 2 tokens and flipping his way from a core all the way to a bubblegum spec. And it's an incredible feat. And he's still going. He's now continuing the flip journey. So that's who we have to look forward to chatting with later on. Thanks for being here, Tyler.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
I'm going to give a little more space if there's some big news that I missed for the week. It's a pretty full slate. And actually, I'll go ahead and check the Discord really quick in case something happened in the last couple of hours that I missed.
I mean, it's not quite VFriends related, but Board Becky is sort of in the Veed fam, and
Yes.
that happened too. With if you haven't heard, I don't think you're plugged into the NFT world, but yeah, that was something tangential, and Gary's involved. Well, he bought the same lady, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the kind of news that I need to be reminded of, because I followed that. I was in the Project Phoenix Discord the same night it happened, and I saw that on Twitter today, and it's great news. And even just like NFT space wise, it made the floor on Fame Ladies go from 0.1 to 0.01 back up to 0.1 within like 48 hours.
I might have bought at 0.01, so I'm pretty happy. Just betting.
Nice.
Maybe chaos works out, and how the real bet was how far could it possibly go down now? Like they couldn't come out again that they were Russian guys that fraudulently created a project. I'm like, there's no real worst scenario, but yeah. So.
Yeah, good call. I wish I would have had that confidence. Good move.
I just bought one, so it was just a little bit of confidence, not that much, but it's still fun to. I think I'll just keep it for bragging rights now instead of flipping it immediately, just to say like, hey, I called it. But
yeah. You know, while Jacob's talking, I want to bring attention to a project that he started this week, and I'll be talking about this in the news. But VFriends Discord is looking for a new Discord manager. Talked about it last week. Zane's last day is coming up, and the application is closed. I personally applied for the job, and I'd be happy to be chosen. But looking at the specifications that they asked for in the application, somebody who's experienced in managing Discord and scaling a Discord, as well as deploying different bots to make the Discord experience better and better, it's very clear to me that Corso is the clear choice. I know everybody in this room knows Nick Corso and the impact he's had and how many literal hundreds of people he's helped over the last months being a moderator. And so while the community doesn't get to have a say in who VFriends hires, you know, they need someone to do a job, and they will bring in the right person for that. But Jacob created an NFT where we can sort of co-sign Corso, thank him for the work he's done, and we will send this NFT to Zane, to Gary's wallet. Jacob, who are you sending the NFT to at the end of the day?
I think I'm going to send it to Zane, just mostly because Gary's wallet gets too bombarded. And since Zane is the person leaving from it, I felt it was appropriate. But yeah, and just I'm not asking for monies. It's just hearts on the OpenSea listing. Sort of what we're going for.
Yeah, so the NFT is not for sale. It's going to be a gift to Zane, and we want to get as many favorites on it as possible. So you need to be signed in on OpenSea, go to Corso for Discord Manager. It's in my Instagram bio link. It's in my favorites on my OpenSea profile. Want to be a V friend, and I just think it'd be so cool to have it surpass 100. I know there's 100 people that agree with me that Corso is more than qualified for the job and the obvious person for it. So I'll be mentioning that, but I want to just put it out there because it's part of the program tonight.
Jeremy, I DM'd you.
You DM'd me on Clubhouse?
Yes. Back channeled you.
I don't think I have back channel on Club Deck.
It's a good thing I raised my hand. I just want to make sure Mario is added into your update for the VFriends community. Mario got his token flipped up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What's Mario's last name? Or does it matter?
That's up to you, but it's Longtin.
And
Oh,
Jeremy,
long
you should,
term.
if you have the latest version of Club Deck, you should have back channel up at the top. There should be a little, you should have the arrow up in the top middle.
Oh, you are correct. I have the back channel, but I don't see your message. But why? Okay, either way, thanks for reminding me of that, Christy.
Yes,
You got a core tenacious termite, right?
correct. From Frederick.
My pen is failing. Come on, pen. Frederick. Tenacious termite is also one of those in the slate of characters who are part of the 12 and a half. Tenacity is one of those qualities. So that's a great token for him to get. Oh my gosh.
Jeremy,
Yes, Nikki.
are you going to come to book club when we do 12 and a half?
I'd love to. Yeah.
Okay.
I-
I'm getting you on the hook for it now.
Book club is on Sundays, right?
It is, but I think when we do that, we're going to have another day. We're thinking of Tuesday because Wednesday's a little bit heavy right now, but
Yeah.
the person that I got for support might only have Wednesday, so we're going to do maybe earlier, like way earlier than now, just
Okay.
that it's not like right at the same time. But that might not. It might still be a Tuesday thing. It's not set in stone, so that's not in the news. Don't put that on the news.
Sure. I can add to the community news though that, I mean, if you don't mind the clubhouse being blown up by POAP seekers, that the book club
Yes.
is almost done. The book end POAP for Crushing It. You're reading Crushing It, right?
Crush it.
Oh,
Not
the
crush
original Crush It.
Yeah.
Closes, and when is the event? This Sunday?
It's on Sunday at 9 Eastern. And then actually we get another POAP the following Sunday. So anybody who's on the POAP hustle,
Yeah.
the next 2 Sundays are the time to show up.
It's
Because we're going to read
AM,
Thank
right?
You Economy.
AM or PM?
Yeah, the next one. It's PM.
Oh, PM.
On Sunday it's PM. Yeah. And then we're reading Thank You Economy next. So it's Gary's
Great.
next book.
Great.
Just to have that info.
One thing that I'm working on is better organizing and delivering public resources for the community. So actually, if you want to go to wannabeavfriend.com, it got a pretty significant upgrade. It's still more of a placeholder. It's just one page, but there's the resources are currently the podcast and the calendar. So Nikki, I want to work with you, and I'm saying this for everybody's benefit. If you have, whether it's your project or something VFriends related to the community. Like currently I have a couple of the Let's VFriends Clubhouse shows there and the Thursday night giveaway in Insiders. I don't know if anybody, I actually wasn't at the giveaway last week, so I assume they're still doing that. I don't know if anybody wants to confirm or deny.
I won a janky last Thursday.
You won a janky? Nice.
It's really
That's
good
awesome.
win from Mario, actually. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I want the community calendar and the streaming calendar to be more accurate and more up to date. So the podcast, the calendar, and then I'm also creating a Trello board where I can keep different lists of the things I'm tracking. So I haven't added it to the website yet, but you'll be able to go there and look at what are the expected announcements, what characters recently got hints, and what's like the latest giveaway and whatever else feels helpful. So just as an FYI to people, and that, you know, if you have a community event, I'd love to have it on the calendar.
I'm going to have someone helping me with that kind of stuff because that's the stuff I'm not great at, and I'm good at hosting the rooms. So she's going to be giving me like a little bit more support on the back end, which will be a nice relief. So I think you'll see a little bit better coordination from both the houses here.
That's awesome.
So it'll be good for both of us. She can jump in your calendar and like get it all, you know, synced up with what we got going on too. So it'll be better.
Love that. And if you want to just catch a vibe, go to the website because it's like a little ethereal. I love it. I actually have the Clubhouse link there, Nikki. It goes back to, I think just to follow the actual Let's VFriends Clubhouse. Yeah. I'm very excited about it. And thank you to Marcelo who did all of the development for it. Cool. Well, I feel like we're met 20 minutes in. I think people want the news. Am I right or am I right?
I think so. Take it away, Jeremy.
Any last call for other stuff that I might have missed this week? Right then. Welcome one and all to the weekly VCAP, the Clubhouse show performed live in the Let's VFriends Clubhouse every Wednesday night at 9 p.m., where we condense the wild and hectic world of VFriends NFT into a compact 10 to 15 minute podcast where I stutter a little bit, and by the end of it, you know exactly what's coming, what's behind us, and how quickly we get to the moon. So let's dive in. We had some record sales, like all-time high record-breaking sales, and these are notable for a couple reasons. Number one, we're seeing an old collector, Kalish, come in to buy the Diamond Hands Hen for 80 ETH. And that was already surprising to me, but within moments, that sale was matched by a buyer who bought the Lava Entrepreneur Elf for 80 ETH directly from Gary, a go. That same buyer proceeded to buy the Lava Alien for 100 ETH and the Diamond Alert Ape for 105 Ethereum. I don't have those dollar conversions in front of me, but I guarantee you it's I don't know, somebody help me out here. It's absolutely shocking. Why are these JPEGs worth so much money? I have to express the hilarity of watching the space spike over the last week, where and just admit my own ignorance that I don't understand how the market operates at this level, but I'm so glad for all of us who were able to get in early. These record sales are only going to continue. We're seeing Bored Apes going for 300 and 400. And with this spike, VFriends is officially back in an uptrend. It sort of went up and came down. I'm not sure where we're going to land, but the floor has cemented for cores essentially at 7.5, dipping a bit after two major announcements took the core floor for VFriends from roughly 6 to about 9 and beyond. Don't quote me on these figures. My memory is check the blockchain. Everything's on the blockchain, but the rise in prices was fast over the course of 3 hours, where Gary told us an announcement was coming, buy your VFriends in the next 3 hours, and sales started to roll in. In fact, on that day, there were 94 sales of VFriends for an average price of 11.14 ETH. The announcement that came from that was with Jimmy.eth and Avastars. So during the last week, they announced this opportunity for VFriends holders and executed it. Congratulations to the 1,727 VFriends holders who were able to claim a free Avastar for the cost of gas. It was a relatively smooth process, all things considered. The 1,700 tokens were claimed in about 30 minutes, which is notable to see how active and attentive the VFriends holders are. If you were to liquidate your Avastar and take the bot offer, it's roughly going for 0.2 ETH. And it's incredible that Gary has found a way within the NFT space to provide liquidity to holders. And this is just the beginning of more things to come. The larger announcement behind this collaboration was the PLP, the pre-launch program. This is very important for anybody who's interested in the NFT technology, a creator themselves, or wanting to work with creators, because Gary Vee and VFriends are essentially offering their assistance through the launch process in exchange for new projects giving 555 tokens to VFriends holders. There's a lot of details that are important in regard to this, and I would direct you to some of the other podcasts, but I want to clarify a few things here. Number one, with 555 tokens being given per project chosen, those are not going to gift goat holders. Those are going to be randomly distributed to all unique wallets holding VFriends. That is the current understanding, and I also believe that they're going to be airdropped, not first come, first serve, like Avastars was. When I get some confirmation otherwise, I'll be sure to let you know. The other thing is that if you're considering applying for the PLP program, it seems that they're looking for projects that are going to be ready to launch in September or shortly after. That was what Gary and VFriends put out on Twitter. And so if you believe that your project can contribute, but is not going to be ready during that launch window, I encourage you to apply and just add that in the added information in the form. You can find the information at garyvee.com/PLP. You will need to provide your token contract address, your Discord invite, your website link, and your Twitter handle. So they're looking for projects that are taking this seriously, building community, and want to give 555 tokens to the VFriends. I hope you shoot your shot. I look forward to someday soon sharing you what our project will be. Maybe we'll even do a clubhouse, a Let's VFriends project. What do you say, Nikki? Moving on. A couple other little bites. So the Discord, VFriends Discord, is in search of a new Discord manager. The application has now closed, and they're reviewing the applications. Zane's last day will be coming up quick, and we'll have someone new on top in lead. Can't wait to see who they choose, and can't wait to see the new changes that are coming. On that note, it didn't happen this week, but the website has been changed to allow for a bio to be included, as well as you can see every transaction history on your tokens and connect your Twitter and your Discord. So if you haven't taken advantage of the upgrades to the website, now would be a good time to do so. In other news, VCon is coming very soon. With the with the Avastars collaboration behind us, it seems that's one of the 3 collaborations that Gary has promised. With 4 announcements promised in August, one of them for sure being the VCon location, and 2 more now to be either project collaborations or character-specific announcements. He announced the day after Avastars, could have been the same day, in fact. Might have been just yesterday. 2 days ago? What day is it? Am I who, what, where am I? This is the wacky world of Jeremy Knows, and I appreciate your time. Hangout Hawks is another piece of news, but I literally couldn't tell you what day it happened. But I know that Avastars happened Monday. I believe it happened the same day, and they've announced that the dates for the Hangout Hawk Google Meets will start November 10th at 12 noon. All of those meetings will happen at 12 noon, starting November 10th at 12 p.m., December 16th, January 11th, March 9th, and April 20th. Something kind of interesting is this all seems to lead up very nicely to May, where we're expecting VCon. And notable that Gary would want to have all 5 of his Hangout sessions before V conference. And I say that because it would make sense he wants to provide value to these people to get the most out of VCon in the way that Hangout Hawks is probably the best arbitrage specifically for small business owners and people who are entrepreneurs trying to build their thing. Notable stuff. Last but not least, in the way of VFriends news, we have a unconfirmed Go giveaway on the table. The Sunday morning comic, which featured the adventurous astronaut and the adaptable alien. I'd like to share that story with you now. Is not quite now, after now. It is an opportunity as much as it is a piece of entertainment. The final tile of the comic asks to send the adventurous astronaut and the adaptable alien on an adventure of your choosing. What kind of adventure should these two go on? In Gary's words, what should these two, adventurous astronaut and adaptable alien, get into next week? He then says in the caption on Instagram, the winning reply gets something fun, ... like very, really fun, ... let's go. So it's unconfirmed because Gary didn't say this is a Go giveaway, but I'm speculating that whoever is chosen will receive a Go token, and you should go ahead and give it a shot. Go to Instagram, drop a fantastic story in the comments, and you could find yourself with a Go token. Let's read the story, shall we? It starts with the adventurous astronaut in a spaceship labeled VFriends heading toward an unknown planet. He says, "My first adventure, I can't wait." He lands on the surface of what might be Mars and says, yeah, time for some exploring. The campy vibe just never stops with these VFriends comics. It's silent there on the planet. And I love this little wisp of silence. He's whistling to himself. He's having a good time, musically tapping. He says, I sure wish I had someone to share this adventure with. And the adaptable alien pops out from behind. Crackle, crackle. What was that sound? Who's there? Rustle, rustle, rustle. And he pops up right behind him as the adventurous astronaut says, guess it was nothing. Then smack! The adaptable alien is pressing his face against the adventurous astronaut's helmet and saying, hello, I can go on adventures with you. He backs away. Astronaut says, whoa, aren't you energetic? But sure, let's do it. What kind of adventure should these two go on? This is a huge opportunity. Some people are mailing in their comics. Plenty of people have turned their comments into actually illustrated drawings, videos. I look forward to seeing who wins. And that was the wacky way we report the news at the weekly VCAP. I started sweating. Jeez, couldn't get control of my tongue.
Hey, Jeremy.
Yes, Nikki.
That was awesome, by the way. I don't want to mess with the flow, but just Corso sends out a message about a Bored Ape Yacht Club bot is going around. So nobody open your DMs. You didn't win anything. Just wanted to get that in there before anybody made a mistake.
Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, somebody just got scammed by it.
Shit.
From our community?
Yeah.
Frig.
Damn it.
Sorry. That's not the encore I'm sure you were looking for. I didn't even read the whole thing.
It's totally okay. This is important. I'm literally trying to say this in every piece of content, but it's not enough to just know not to share your seed phrase because you can get deceived and in a moment make a mistake. I don't know what the specifics were, but we're all vulnerable, even if we know the best practices. I'm going to record a second segment that will probably be just as wacky for the community stuff. So where do we begin? It's time that I share with you some community updates because some incredible things have happened. Multiple people are creating communities of their own. And I just want to give a shout out to some people who have had success this week, like Mario Longton, who after a long road of buying into projects and flipping them from Deadheads to World of Women and otherwise, working up to a VFriend, has finally got their very own core tenacious termite from Frederick. And that's a huge achievement. Big congratulations. Someone else in the community, Board Becky, just became the steward of the Fame Lady Squad contract address. This is sort of its own story on its own. So if you're interested in the Fame Lady Squad and you want to know the details, there's a new Discord that's emerged after that project collapsed this week. And you can go to Twitter to find out exactly what happened. But after the creators were revealed to not be who they said they were, the community banded together with Board Becky at their lead and decided to create lemonade out of the situation. And within 48 hours, Art Chick had brokered a deal with these people, these 3 Russian men pretending to be women running the Fame Lady Squad, and has now transferred the contract, the ownership of the actual minting contract to Board Becky. I think it's really incredible, and I can't wait to see what that community does with this new opportunity. I want to, excuse me, I want to also bring your attention to Let's VFriends Clubhouse. You might know that they do a book club on Sundays. And if you're out on that POAP hustle, they're going to be giving out the bookend to Crush It, which they've now, this will be their last session. They've done 2 chapters at a time, talked through each one, and they've come to the end of the first book, Crush It. If you're there during the clubhouse at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, you can get the bookend in the form of a POAP. And the following Sunday, you can get the front cover for the next book, which will be The Thank You Economy, Gary's second book. A couple things just to be aware of, to keep in front of mind if you're wanting to stay tuned into the VFriends world, is the PLP is live. And you can go to garyvee.com/PLP to apply. VFriends.com has gotten a massive update. You should connect your wallet to update your profile avatar, bio, and specifically if you're a gift go holder, make sure that you go and do this and input your merch sizes and your mailing address so you don't miss out on the first gift, which should be shipping out in the next 3 to 4 weeks. Lastly, Gary has started a new podcast called Props and Drops. They've released 3 episodes. He's doing it in a co-host format with Matt Kalish from DraftKings. Moving to some announcements about the Wanna Be a VFriend Instagram profile and the project as a whole. I have a couple things to share, announce, shed light on. So number 1, I'm asking you to go to OpenSea and find the NFT Corso for Discord Manager. The title says the objective. You can find it in my favorites or in the bio link on Instagram. And I personally applied for this job to take over for Zane and be the Discord manager. I would love to be a part of building the VFriends Discord, but knowing what VFriends actually needs in the way of somebody who can manage and execute bots in the Discord and really scale its growth, it's obvious to me that Corso is the obvious choice. And, you know, he's one of many hardworking mods that work in the Discord. And so I'm not endorsing him to necessarily to say anything about anybody else who applied, but I'm just so grateful for the work that Corso has done over these last 3 months. And Jacob Brown has created this NFT, Corso for Discord Manager, to send to Zane. And we were trying to get as many favorites on it as possible. So it's a free way, simple ask to just show your love and support and co-sign of Corso taking on this role. It should be said that the community has no real influence on what VFriends decides and who they hire. This is just a fun way to be active and show support. Also, you may remember the Gifted Gopher Giveaway. This is a wallet that was set up and holds a core gifted gopher, with the giveaway format being create an NFT, submit it to the giveaway by sending it to the wallet that holds the gopher, and the community will vote by favoriting the winner. And at the end of a certain amount of time, whichever token has the most favorites will receive that VFriend. Now, there are some stipulations. You can't be eligible to win if you already have a VFriend. This is specifically for people who are not currently holders. But the sort of sub stack of that endeavor was to create a community gallery of NFTs and art created by the VeeFriends community in these early stages. The owner of the wallet has sworn that nothing will ever be sold from that wallet. It's meant to be more of a vault and a longstanding gallery of the work that was coming out of this community at this time. The person who created this giveaway is no longer able to manage it. And so they have asked me to steward the project. So want to be a VeeFriend? I created a new wallet. I've received the token. And if you've already applied for the Gifted Gopher Giveaway, your token is now in this wallet. I swear that no NFTs that are sent there will ever be sold. And once the VCon date is announced, I will determine an amount of time relative to that to call an end to the giveaway. It'll be a whole to do. We'll make content and everything. I want people to know about this. There's only been 4 or 5 submissions, and I know there are plenty of more people who would like to get their first VeeFriend and create their first NFT. If you have any questions about the minting process or the creation process, please feel free to use me as a resource. The initial mission of this giveaway was to get people to use the technology and get active in the community. So I really hope that more and more people will contribute art, even if they're not eligible to win. I would love to see Biscuits and BitShields and Adam's new project and VectorBots all in this wallet and representing the earliest VeeFriend supporters. One more thing for me is we've created a secondary Instagram to share and highlight the stories of anybody who applied for the Sorcerer Scholarship. So if you're following my journey, you know that this project started because of the Sorcerer Scholarship and my ambition to get it. And so my directive in creating all of this has been to 5149 serve the VeeFriends community and provide value. And as we start to launch this video game on the Instagram profile, it's clear to me that there's not enough room there for these stories of other folks that I've wanted to highlight along the way. So we've created a separate profile, and there's a Google form in our Instagram bio link that you can fill out if you're interested in sharing your story. Selfishly, I'm excited to connect with more people who are ambitious and believe in themselves enough to write this essay. I think that it can be a great networking and collaboration tool, as well as an archive and a gallery of so many people who were here for this moment. We'll be building it in blocks of 3. So, I'm asking you to provide the content, and then Alex and I will create a cover photo to make your line, or if you want to do 6, that's fine. Make all of your content cohesive with itself. We'll create that for you, but we're asking that folks contribute the content, and the form is a way for me to keep track of it because there's a lot that's going on. Like, we just created a new website. If you go to wannabeaveefriend.com right now, it's still a bit of a placeholder of what we're trying to accomplish, but it's much nicer than it was last week. It's much easier to get to socials and the resources, which include the podcast and a calendar of events, both for my streaming schedule and community events. Sooner than later, the website will have a platform actually for the Achievement Unlocked NFT. I'm going to be releasing the details and description for each lock and what they do as soon as I possibly can when the website is ready. And by the end of the month, I intend to contribute 555 tokens from this Achievement Unlocked project that I've been building for 6 or 8 weeks to the PLP. And so I'm really trying to upgrade that launch in order to meet what I think are the requirements for the PLP. And I look forward to sharing that project with you. I think it's going to be really fun. With all that being said, have a great week. My name is Jeremy. I'm the Heart Trooper number 7 of 20. And this has been Jeremy Knows. Thanks for listening. Woo! How'd we do?
Good one. First time you've said 7 of 20, I think, but I could be wrong.
It might be the first. Another project that's on the back burner, but is going to happen eventually is the VFriends Wikipedia page. We started that.
You started that
Yeah.
already?
Yeah.
Nice.
I started it weeks ago, and I actually found somebody in the community who wants to help with it. But it's enough keeping you guys updated on what's going on, or keeping myself up to date. Adding a Wikipedia page is a whole nother feat. Over time, though. Oh, I just got an offer on my fame lady. Good things to come.
What's that?
0.05. Nothing to call home about. I'm really grateful for everybody who's here and comes to listen to this live. I hope that it's still providing you value. Wow, big room tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Before we dive into Tyler and his story for a bit, I like to create space for conversations around any of that news, whether it's questions about PLP or any of the community stuff I mentioned. If you're in the audience and you'd like to speak, please just request. It's an open floor. And again, really grateful. Thanks, Marielle, for being here. Michael and Chris. Mario, I hope you were here when I gave you a shout out. Yeah, just good to see everybody. Hey, Lana. Eddie. So many folks. Not all at once.
Hey, Jeremy, I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Hey, how you doing, Eddie?
Good, thanks. Hey, how do you manage your time? Do you have any tricks of the trade? You seem very busy, but you get a lot done. Any tips?
Sure. The honest answer to your question is I manage it very poorly. In terms of tips, I think, I meditate every day. So when I get up in the morning, as soon as I can, I drink a full cup of water and I just sit on my couch for 10 minutes. And sometimes I'm really squirmy and I want to check my phone. And sometimes I kind of go into a daze and I sit there for longer than 10 minutes, but I try to slow down before I get going. And that helps me a lot. And actually something I just started doing yesterday is I have a dream journal. This was something I did years ago, but sort of fell out of practice. I've noticed that just by writing down what I'm trying to get in the habit of writing down every idea I have, whether it's good or bad, so that I don't have to do the work of remembering the work I've already done. It's sort of been one of my flaws. But yeah, I guess any tips I have would be more mental than activity based. I feel like I'm trying to take my time and not be frenetic, because I tend to get a little bit hyper focused, and sometimes I find myself ahead of the actual moment. And so giving myself grace that whatever's going to be done, I'm going to do it, and it's going to happen in my own time. I think in terms of the perception that I get a lot done, yeah, that's true. And it's also relative, and it happens because I'm going without a plan. If I have an idea of something, whether it's content or a new show or something, I try to do it before I judge myself how I'll do it. That's maybe one of my strongest skills is, and how I've been able to maintain what I've done so far is, I don't usually do a second take. I just let it run, and I forgive myself for my mistakes, and I use them as I try to use my mistakes to refocus me on what maybe is better subjectively or I don't know. Was any of that helpful?
No, 100% helpful. It's it's not just how you schedule what you're going to do. I think the big part is what you touched on is just mental preparation, not just physical. So super helpful.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, I appreciate all the stuff that you've been doing and kind of summarizing so much stuff for a lot of us.
Yeah, thank you, man. I think one of my favorite tips that I've seen, like in a book, there's a book called The One Thing, and I didn't read the book, but I read the title and I got the message, which was focusing on just one thing that if you accomplish that in the day, you would feel, good or accomplished or happy or whatever. And that by doing, like, there's another version of it that's like eating the frog, like doing the hardest thing that you need to do first thing in the morning, putting the hard thing at the start of your list and getting it out of the way. And I found that for the one thing as well, like identifying whether it's recording a podcast or like going through my mail or whatever, and just picking one thing. And once it's done, then I have a lot more mental space to consider what's important, where I can move from there.
Awesome. Thanks.
No problem. Also, Eddie, I don't know if you've connected with Jonathan LaVille. Not sure if I'm saying his last name right. He's in the audience. And I've just heard a lot of kind of productivity hacks, but also like mindset, sort of like we're talking about in conversations he's been a part of. So you might want to connect with him and see. I know he's teaching a class right now, and it just has a very warm and supportive tone.
Awesome. I'll send him a message. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody have ambition to apply for the PLP? Oh, by the way, I'm doing a giveaway on Twitch. And in order to enter the giveaway, you have to type the keyword into the chat. So I'm not going to keep it a big secret what it is, but someday that'll be fun. The word is sorcerer. So if you want to be part of the giveaway, I'm going to give away a Flame of Purpose, but I'm also going to give away a Sorcerer J. So you can go to twitch.tv/vfriends. Schmooper girl, you're in. So it's really cool. I can even show you this on Twitch. I have this bot that does it now. So like, see these, this is the list of everybody who's in the chat, but only the people with the blue circles are in, and it's because they've typed sorcerer, which is pretty cool. Fun stuff. I do want to let Clubhouse know that I don't really have a heart out tonight. There's not a knowing gnome giveaway. So, if people are down to chat, like, I'm happy to go as deep as we want in whatever direction. I feel like there's a lot to be processed from this last week that, conversation may or may not be useful. I know that for me personally, I feel like I've gone on an emotional roller coaster trying to follow other projects as well. And so I can only imagine that other people are feeling fatigue and a bit of burnout and, FUD and navigating the space in their own ways. I've been trying to talk a lot about people creating their own projects, whether it's through derivative art or teaming up with artists. And I know that for some, that's a whole new world. And even if the creative isn't a new world, the technology really is. So if it's not useful to talk about the news, we can go in whatever direction y'all want.
Jeremy, did you want to talk with Tyler at all about his story? A little bit more?
Yeah. How's it hanging, Tyler?
Things are good. Just been relaxing, hanging out.
Yeah. So Tyler was our community chat guest tonight, and he told us his story, which, summarizing it like this almost undermines it, because there's like a lot of dramatics getting scammed out of 2VFriends tokens, and panic and dread and uncertainty. And Tyler was faced with that when he was DM'd by someone who wanted to do a trade for his 2 cores to get a very rare. And this was before Tyler knew about NFT Trader and I forget the other one you mentioned. Some swap.
Pseudo swap.
I
haven't used that. I've only used NFT Trader since then.
Yeah, I know NFT Trader is real. The first time it got introduced to me, it was like, but is this a thing? After, I guess, so he was offered to do a third-party trade with an admin in the VFriends Discord, and a fake Andy Craniac was added to a group chat, and they talked it all out. He sent his tokens to this fake Craniac, and then poof, the chat disappeared, the VFriends were gone, and Tyler was shit out of luck. And it's a terrible thing to imagine. And somehow Tyler has, by betting on VFriends and getting back in with a core token once ETH had come down a bit, actually been able to flip from a core to another core to a very rare or an epic. He's flipped all the way up to a spectacular. And so his story is literally from scammed to spec. And it was awesome talking to him. And yeah, welcome, Tyler.
Yeah, thank you. That was a great intro. And yeah, I mean, that basically, in a broad sense, summarizes everything that happened over the past 2 months. It's been about like 2 months since the scam actually happened, and then I bought back in probably a month ago. So yeah, it's been a wild ride since then, for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if we should talk about flipping. Like, one thing we were talking about at the end is how it's really an all-in game with what you are playing by liquidating VFriends, buying others, trading. How is that process for you? Do you just is it a lot of trust? Is it emotional for you like it is for me? Like, you want to speak to that at all?
It can be, and so the reason that I've decided to basically only flip VFriends, I flipped a few deadheads here and there, like just basically after Gary's endorsement, bought a few and then flipped those for a little bit of profit. So basically, like, with my goal was just to try to make up for some of the losses that I had in the scam. Like, that was the broad goal. And then, so instead of taking the approach where, I'm minting all these different projects every day for cheap and hoping that one hits, kind of pulling that lever on the slot machine, I decided that, and obviously it's a little bit different than that, but there's a lot of research that goes into why people buy projects. But I basically decided that I'm super bullish on VFriends. It's the project that, one, I know the most about. I know the ins and outs of basically all of the tokens, all of the little nuances in Gary's world I'm familiar with. So I felt that I had a pretty strong grasp on it. And also just loved being in the VFriends community in the Discord every day, interacting with people, bartering for different prices on different tokens and trades. So I really missed that aspect of it as well. So there was the financial aspect, but then there was also the social aspect of it that after I got scammed, I was like, wow, like what do I do now? I can obviously still be involved in the community, but not as involved as a holder would be. So that basically led to the decision to go all in and buy another token, and then just tried to first just err on the side of caution always. I was trying to be super careful and super secure with everything I did. Obviously learned the lesson the hard way, but at the end of the day, learned the lesson of the risks of crypto and of the blockchain. And then I just kind of ran with it from there and just tried to go deal by deal and slowly accumulate some profit here and there. And it ended up going a lot better than I expected. So what questions do you guys have? Anybody listening? I'm sure a lot of you aren't familiar with who I am, and also kind of the journey that I've been on for the past month. So curious what you guys.
Yeah. So you stayed entirely in VFriends. You didn't jump. I mean, besides the little deadhead one. And so how did you?
I flipped like 2 deadheads. I think that's really the only other project that I bought into and flipped.
Well, you said you also had the Wicked Cranium and the World of Women that you offered when you traded up to the spec, right? Or was it the
yeah. So I again off Gary's endorsement minted to World of Women, and at the time that I traded them, it was before really they had taken off. So for me, trading them was just kind of a risk management thing. I wasn't sure on financially if they were going to turn out to be good flips. So that's why I used them in the trade. And obviously, it turned out great for both parties because they've accumulated a lot of value since then.
Yeah.
And then, I had bought the one Wicked Cranium because I had heard that they had an airdrop coming up, very similar to how Bored Ape did Bored Kennel Dogs, or Bored Ape Kennel Club, I think it's called.
Yep.
Wicked Craniums did a version of that, and I was like, oh, like now's a great time to buy in before the airdrop. There's going to be a lot of hype behind the project, and maybe this could be a good flip. So, but outside of those two, it was all VFriends.
Oh, that's cool. So were you like most of them, you talked to the people, so you got the better trades? Was that how it sounds like?
Yeah, for the most part, a lot of it is done through Discord DM, and I'm very attentive to the Discord, so I'm familiar with some of the bigger traders in there, and also I guess can be opportunistic when I see someone that is looking to sell theirs that maybe I'm interested in, and then you just try to hop on that and then work out a deal where, obviously you never want to rip anybody off or do anything unethical, but you're trying to make a good trade for both parties.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tyler, it's Alyssa. How are you?
Hey, Alyssa, what's up?
Good. Like, I've always been fascinated with the flip game. It's just not something I'm into. I'm not a big risk taker. But I'm just curious, like, so did you find your flipping was successful through like OpenSea, or did you have to do private sales? Because I'm always fascinated to see if people kind of do it where Gary gets his cut, or is it more of like a private sale type atmosphere?
Yeah, so I did do most sales through the private sale, which I know a lot of people have some mixed opinions on that. But just for me, it was it was a big financial risk to jump back in. So I just financially couldn't afford to lose that 12.5% if I was going to try to accumulate value in a relatively quick manner.
No, that makes sense. No judgment. Like I said, I'm just trying to. I'm just fascinated by the process in and of itself and how everyone kind of goes about it. So thanks
Yeah,
for
yeah. I mean, I think I don't know everyone else's kind of deals behind the scenes, but I think for the most part, when people are flipping, they're at least trying to set up private sales to where they can sell at the lower price and take 100% of it. And obviously, there's three parties involved. There's the seller, the buyer, and then the creator. So in this case, it's Gary. So two of those parties benefit because one can buy in at a lower price and the other person gets to keep 100% of the profit. But then the third party, which is Gary, always, they miss out there. So I think, I think like for the most part, a lot of the day traders and flippers are setting up those private sales, but I don't want to speak for them because they also might not be. And I think I saw, at least with the new VFriends website, Gary like kind of hinted to it, but hasn't obviously officially released anything. But my prediction for that is within the next few months, that'll be the only place where you can buy and sell VFriends. It's a complete guess, but that's my prediction.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then that will be where Gary's always guaranteed his cut, I think.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I think he'll take a similar, and I've never obviously bought a CryptoPunk, but you can only buy them through Larva Labs, and obviously Gary's such a big fan of them. I think I could see him kind of taking a page out of their book and just making his own VFriends marketplace.
Jeremy, you there?
I sure am. Am I muted?
I brought up Mario to maybe join the conversation since he had a little bit of a different journey and maybe there could be a little bit more dialogue going on. Thank you, Tyler, for carrying this. I really appreciate it. And I'm so excited that you were able to flip up. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And happy to answer anyone else's questions. I know flipping can be kind of a scary thing or something that a lot of people don't know a lot about. So yeah, happy to shed some light on it.
I'm glad for that. We've been trying to have like these little mini masterminds on Tuesdays and Thursdays to really kind of tackle some of the questions to be asking, like when you're outside of VFriends, right? Mario's been a big part of those conversations and really like running the lead on bringing projects to the conversation. We like create a little forum and actually Angelo, I don't know if you know him, but he's a runner in the community. Is he in here right now? He actually just reached out because they're looking to put together a few people who want to actually bring some of those projects to the forefront and then sort of go over like a checklist, kind of like sort of what we've been, I guess, talking out in these rooms anyway, to kind of use as like a bar to say like, is this one that we're gonna flip or is this one that we're gonna hold, and kind of like give a barometer for us so that we can start to learn to look for things in a different way. And that's kind of been the idea of these two sessions that we're having on the Tuesdays and the Thursdays. Tuesdays, we kind of dial in more to like the technology that we don't understand, like asking for contracts or looking for those on the websites. Yeah. And then on Thursday, it's more like kind of like looking at a specific project and like, can you identify their dev team, those types of things. So we never really have talked about what you did, which was stay inside VFriends. And I really love this part of the conversation. And so I don't know what your days look like on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but if you're ever available and want to join the conversation, I know there's a lot of people that come to those sessions who are specifically looking for like that kind of content and basically discussion. Everyone's trying to figure it out. So I just wanted to extend that invitation to you and to anybody in the room who is listening who hasn't been in on any of those conversations or know about it. So okay, that's all I had to say on that. And Mario, thank you for coming up. And
yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
I've been finding success with just
ahead, Mario.
different projects entirely. It's just because
so
I wasn't
we kind of
friend.
we've both been flipping, but we've both been taking very different approaches to it, which I think is fascinating.
Yeah. If I would have, like, don't get me wrong though, if I would have been able to afford VFriends, like from the beginning, I would have been flipping VFriends.
Right.
So yeah, the only reason I wasn't able to do that was just So that's why I had to like start from the bottom, like 0.1s and like to 0.1s to 0.01s to 0.1s, and had to like work my way up to. But see, I didn't like. I feel like I didn't like. I don't know. See, I didn't flip all the way up to like the 19th floor that it is now. Fred was holding a token for me at 3 ETH, like that we decided a couple months back because
that's awesome
of my situation. Yeah. So, but yeah.
So you had an end goal in sight. You weren't chasing the ever rising floor, which is always nice.
About how much did you start with, Mario?
Well, originally I started with 600, and then I dropped another 600. But I'd have to like double check though, because there could have been I think there's another time where I dropped some money, but it's just been like obviously like so overwhelming with everything.
Of course, but yeah,
I do remember
you invested like half an ETH or so.
Yeah, at the max, yeah. I would have to go back and check too, just because when I put the 600 in, it was at the all-time high, right? Because it was or right before the all-time high. But it went actually the first 600 in, I actually put it in before like Gary announced like you should have an ETH in your wallet. So I was kind of lucky. I rode that wave. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the next time that I did was when it was an all-time high, so it was pretty expensive.
What's your guys like as a starting amount for somebody flipping? What's sort of the minimum that you guys are thinking of now?
You can take 0.01s and earn times 5 times 10. Like I would say at least once a week at the very minimum. There's so many projects that like kind of offer that ability. There's actually one right now it's 0.02, and he only drops like 4 at a time. So if you're lucky to if you're quick enough to get one, the floor is 0.2. It's crazy.
Not phantoms, are we talking about?
No. This is like the bomber dudes. There's a bunch of projects like lower end projects like that, or not lower end. Sorry, that's the wrong word. I mean smaller projects like that are very good. I find for flipping. Like Skelly Bits was a good one. It still is. It's just going through like a little dull. But once season 2 will sell out, I think it's gonna get good again. Like Bit Aliens is another good one. I'm just off the top of my head here. Like there's a few of them too. Like a few of these like derivatives. Like 8 Gang was a good one for the. So if you got in at the 0.1, the floor went to like 0.2 the next day. So if you would have got one, sorry, it was 0.01, and then it sold out like that night kind of thing, and then the next night the floor was 0.2, but then it dropped the following night after. So you have like a very small window on some of them, and then but on others like another one, sorry, Lucky Cats by Felix. I invested in that one in like April and May, and they were 0.01, and he just blew up recently. So now I had like I had 12 of them, and now like the floor is 0.07 and going up, and I sold I sold like 3 of them for at least 0.1. So I made I just made a lot just from his small project, and I find it all adds up, right? So if you can just get 0.1 or 0.2, and then you can just roll that over to a hype project, because they're usually under 0.1, and then once you get going with that, then it just starts to get easier.
Very cool.
Where do you follow drops, Mario? Like where do you find out about these projects?
So like right now I'm in that metaverse HQ, which you need a key for to have access to the NFT.
I actually just got one last week.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that
Yeah,
Discord is
I'm
amazing.
still not entirely sure how to use it yet. But I have seen the drops channel.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
that's
So
like a
the
big
drops,
resource for you then.
I just checked what they're voting on because they're most of them are like very well connected, and
Yeah.
so it's been working for me. So
Yeah, that's how
for
I
the
found
past,
out about the fuck render crystals. Oh, I
yeah,
wasn't able to
exactly.
get one, but it was clear based on their poll. It was like, oh, people are really interested in this.
Yeah, that one was really high voted.
Yeah.
And then you kind of see like the winner, like I guess not the winner of the day, but you see the hype project of the day, and then you can kind of like do your homework based on that.
Yeah.
And then but before, like if you don't have access to that Discord, like before, what I used to do is just go on Twitter, and I would actually be in like the Bored Apes Cool Cats Discords and like just kind of peek in there. And then I also was in the Kinky Skullx Discord, and there's a lot of OG flippers in there, and I don't know. I'm good friends with them now because I just been in there since about May, and they just they helped me so much. It's crazy.
Did you say that was Metaverse HQ?
Yeah, that's correct. So the keys now are very expensive, like the 4.5. They only sold like a limited amount of keys, and they're at 0.12. I should have definitely grabbed a bunch. I didn't expect the floor to go up that high so quick. But I have a feeling there's going to be more Discords like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about flipping the access to it just because it's doubled since I bought it, and
That's awesome.
and it's only for this year. So I suppose as the year goes on, I don't know exactly when it expires, but I know it does.
And the end of 2022.
Oh, it's the end of 2022. Okay, well that's cool. That's good.
And if you go on their Twitter and like check their track record, like they've been doing it since NBA Top Shots in January, and they called everything. So their community, their little Discord community, all got in on the Bored Apes. They all got in on the stuff. Like they all get in on like the hype launches, right? They don't miss out, and they all talk strategy. So they talk about like the timing windows. They talk about gas. Like it's very helpful.
Where do they talk about that?
Like in the general chat, or like sometimes they have specific channels. So if you go in like generative chat, like yeah, sometimes you'll see people talk about that, and you can just ask like if you're just like, so guys, what are you thinking about the gas? And then like people will answer you.
And that's the key meta, or what's is that the key one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's correct. But I mean, I'm like, that's the thing. So like, if you do, and like, you can do this for free. Like, you can just, all you basically need to do is find a couple people like, that are like, experienced. Have been doing it for like 6 months, a year or so, and then like, and then if they're like involved in it, kind of thing, and you just keep bouncing back, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about making the channel or something. That'd be cool. Just everybody that wants to flip.
That would be awesome. Yeah. Also, I did on the, what was it, the Royal Society. I saw that AJ was following it, and that was sort of one of my due diligence little things, or just so maybe you could, go stalk who people are following on Twitter.
Yeah,
but
it's a good one too. And like if you like respect somebody in the flip game, I guess you could always check their wallet and see what they're buying and stuff, and or see, I guess, what Discord they're hanging out with, because some of them are very vocal, like especially in the Bored Ape community. They'll just say, hey guys, are you aping in on this? Or hey guys, are you aping in on this? So it's pretty like easy to see. They don't always do it in like the public in general. I'm sure there's a lot more conversations happening like in the back channels, but they do sometimes, and it's pretty helpful. Like it was pretty helpful for me in like June before I had the key.
I think that's awesome, and congrats again on your befriend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. It's such a good story.
don't know if you guys are following what's happening in the Discord currently.
Yeah, I'm getting distracted by it right now. But
What's going on?
am I reading this properly? That the guy who scammed somebody out of 3 VFriends is chatting in the Discord?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
he
so-
did that last time.
So he
He
took
did this.
he took a gift goat, 2 very rares,
And 11
and 11 ETH from a guy, and now he's in the chat saying he'll give 1 back if he doesn't get banned.
Excuse
What
me?
a dick. Sorry.
What's his condition?
He'll give 1 VFriend back if he doesn't get banned. But I think he's just kind of trolling.
Yeah, for sure trolling. Last time he did the same thing. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy because it's the same website, it's the same message, but just with a different project. I could check who is, and they, if it's the same, it's probably named. It's the guy is actually smart because he hides his identity and uses a fake name, fake address, and it's on like they use this. It's one of the cheapest domain names you can buy, so it's like very easy to give fake information to this domain name provider. So I don't know. That's why he's getting away with it. I would think because by now, like people would have tracked him down. And yeah, things wouldn't have been pretty, especially with that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean that's over $200,000 easily.
I can't believe. I mean, this just happened. I'm just like, so I'm like, once Polygon is back up, I'm gonna send. Jeremy's worried about people spamming everybody's wallet, but I'll just spam it with a "Do not give away your seed phrase, you dummy." and just
No matter what.
Yeah, no matter what, and maybe just have that as a weekly thing. I don't know. Maybe we'll
A
see how
daily
crazy we
thing.
get, but yeah,
Every morning.
that's
Fucking hard. I'm gonna do it on Twitter.
Can't
fucking-
hurt, right?
Like, Jesus. Brainwash people into like, like no,
Not
actually,
doing
I
it.
got warned by like 100 people. Like,
And it's sketchy sometimes too, even if you're not giving out your seed phrase, just connecting to a wallet and not wanting to get scammed into
Yep.
giving out your seed phrase. But making a secondary MetaMask and just using that one as the one with your spending ETH and the one you connect to websites, but doesn't hold, like, make a secondary one. So the one that currently holds your VFriends and your other important NFTs, you just don't connect and you don't, purchase with, and then you can
Exactly.
transfer it to it. It's that's what I like to do. I wasn't able to do that with the Avastars because I needed to use the MetaMask that had my VFriends, and man, I was like connecting it, but I know it's backed by Gary and I know it's a safe website, so like it felt okay. But yeah, it definitely feels good to not use the MetaMask that has them in it.
well, just a note on that. It was when they used snapshots like they did, you didn't have to have your VFriend in it at that time. But that's a separate.
Right, but you
But,
had to
yeah.
use the wallet with the VFriend was purchased in, and it's
Yeah.
in that wallet. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
Good
But
point.
yeah, but still, I mean, I'm just blown away that literally 2 weeks in a row. I mean, these are people in the Discord too. I'm blown away. But
makes me mad. It actually makes me so mad. But it makes me mad that people are falling for it at this point.
it's both, yeah.
Well,
And it's just so frustrating that they can like get away with it. It's so easy for them to take it and disappear. And
I think they sent back his VFriends to Skylar, 2 of them.
No.
Way.
Yeah.
No,
I think they
Oh,
sent
that's
2
beautiful.
Of them. I think they sent 2
One
of
of
them back.
them is already visible in the new wallet.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's insane. So why are they scamming and giving back though?
I
He's
think that-
keeping the gift goat.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
I-
only sending 2 of them
He
back.
sent a
And
very
three-
rare and a
he
core.
kept the gift goat. Oh my god.
No,
But that's what I don't. Oh man, this is the
He's
weirdest.
gonna have to put in his
scammer in the world.
address.
it'll probably just be like a PO box, I guess.
Oh my
We'll
god.
in
still
a
go
second,
find
an
that
air
P-Bo
fryer
box.
to a PO
Yeah.
box, guys. Well, he may sell the gift goat or whatever, and he got 11 ETH.
Yeah, that's true. And just cash out the ETH.
So is that why he's giving it back? Because he just made so much money and he feels bad?
Work for him. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm happy. I never heard that before. Like a scammer giving back, like, you know.
The big scammer that did the 600 million on Polygon gave like half of it back at this point. So maybe it's just a trend now in the scammer community. They're like, hey, everybody, they don't hate us as much if we give like half of it back. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
So
I wonder if
I
it's
got
like a power rush.
So he said they said that he got sent back a very rare and a core that was never his. So he's not even. So this guy's got other V friends in his wallet.
Hey guys, I'm over in the Punks comic one too, and that same Bored Apes Yacht scammer guy, he got a couple people over in there and then let him pick one of his tokens to get back. So
oh my God.
we gave him back his ape, but took everything else, like 40 ETH worth of stuff.
Holy.
Wow. I don't know how to feel about this. This is a mixed bag of emotions.
This is so bizarre.
This guy's a millionaire from scamming people.
It's I think we can shame him. I think this is what we're saying. Let's go shame him.
I don't know.
It's, something's happening.
That's not worth it. That's not worth our time.
I don't know. This is what I do for fun
It's
sometimes.
almost
but I
like
don't
they're realizing that it's more valuable to be in good standings in the NFT community, and that this might gain that and able to steal from people as well. I mean, this is so confusing.
I don't know. I liken this to somebody who's returning to the scene of the crime, basically, right? You hear about that all the time, where people just want. I mean, I've watched a lot of Criminal Minds, right? So
I think you're nailing it.
Wait, is it guilt?
Engage.
This
Is it
is
guilt?
fucked up.
Wow, he really
no,
said
it's not guilt. It's pleasure.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's attention,
shit,
attention
seeking for something
Hey,
that's
flexing. Like Posty just called out. He's
Ew.
flexing right now.
Oh, true. Psychological. Oh, man, he's fucked.
He's like, I'll even give you back. You guys can't stop me. I'll give you back one of yours, but I'm keeping the rest, and you can't do shit, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey man, I guess if we can look at even just a little tiny portion of it, the people who are getting something back are probably at least it's a tiny little thing at least.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I can speak to that a little bit. So after I got scammed, did you guys hear about how two of the community members tracked down the scammer and got some people's stuff back?
No.
No. What?
Did you hear about this?
You vigilante. No. What happened?
No, it wasn't me. So the person who scammed me out of the two VFriends had scammed a few other VFriends community members and some people in the Deadheads community out of like some really valuable ones. So there's a guy, Mark Dusa, and a guy, Crypto Jesus. They basically tracked him down through following all of his wallet transactions, there's like some notes in there. So they like ended up finding the guy's Instagram, or at least one of the scammers. Pulled him into a Discord and then pulled him into a group chat with all of his scam, or like it was like 5 or 6 of his scam victims. And I guess the guy Crypto Jesus has connections with the FBI or something, like some very powerful people. So he's basically like, we know who you are, like we know all of your information. Give each of these people back what you stole, and we'll let you go. So they gave back. He gave back one of the VFriends. He gave back one of the Deadheads, I believe. And then it was down to me and then another guy in the Deadheads community who lost a Deadhead worth like 4 ETH at the time. And all of like my tokens had already been resold, and so had his. So then he said he had like 2.5 ETH in his wallet. And like my VFriends were resold for a total of 10 ETH. So like the two guys were trying to do everything they could to get us back 100% of what they stole. But that money had already been moved to a different wallet. Like the other scammer was in like Europe or something. So I ended up getting back like 1.2 ETH of the 10. So it wasn't 100% obviously by any means, but just getting back a little bit to help make up for that loss was like super important, and like was like the nicest thing for those guys to do. And like they didn't want anything in return. Like they were just being like amazing people.
This is seriously one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard. That's insane.
Yeah, it was super cool. And obviously, I mean, it was a bummer that I couldn't get everything back, but I was just super grateful to get at least a little bit back, and even to just know like someone's looking out, you know.
I can't believe what's happening right now. Like they're trying to get him to give it back to more people.
Yeah, this is insane.
Jacob's theory was right.
The conversation is gross,
I don't even know.
Don't get it twisted.
This is what could it hurt? But I don't. If he wants attention.
So I almost wish that a bunch of people would back out a little bit and kind of let Posty and a couple other people kind of guide the combo.
Yeah.
Because he's still saying some really disgusting things.
Yes.
And it's bad.
I'm glad I'm not reading it. I feel like I can't go in there right now. Yeah. I would like to know if Mario is planning on flipping to a spec now.
Well, I wouldn't be able to like use this token because Fred gave it to me, right? So it's like special. So what I would have to do is flip into a V-friend like myself again. Like, well, I guess like properly this time, and then kind of use that to like flip up. That would be like my only way to do that, I think.
Yeah, it's tough now with how high the floor is, and also with announcements on the way. Like,
yeah,
you could easily get left behind. I mean, obviously, you still eventually make a bunch of profit, but it's hard to flip with the floor rising.
Charlie, you know, the fluffs, he bought a bunch of fluffs at floor and made 11 ETH in one night.
Yeah, that's insane.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wait, that's Lily Charlie?
No, not him. It's a different Charlie. I see him in he's a V-friend, but he's always hanging out in like the Dolly's Discord and like those secondary, like Roman Punks Discord, things like that.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie from the V Family Tree website or Instagram.
Just forget his last name.
Did you end up getting any junkyard dogs, Mario?
Yeah. So I minted 5, and then I was just trying to minimize the gas. One was for Christy because I wanted to help her like flip, and then I had like I was gonna keep 3, so I had 1 extra, and then Bryce was the first one to grab it from me, so I was able to give Bryce 1 at cost, kind of thing, and it's cheaper because I'm buying 5. So like your price per token is cheaper when you do that instead of just buying the 1. And I flipped 2 of them so far, and I have 1 left.
Yeah, I jumped on it and no, I was unsuccessful.
Did you buy any Glue Factory, Mario?
No, I missed that one.
No, I bought 2 yesterday, and just it's always so hard. Obviously, I'm sure this is something you dealt with throughout your flip journey. Is like, do I sell? Because obviously there's that lull after mint where things are like pretty stagnant or fluctuating. So obviously there's the question like, do I sell now and I try to get out with the money that I paid, or do I hold this and risk it? You know?
Yeah, there's always that. Yeah, well, that battle.
Yeah, so that's what I'm debating now with the horses. I got 2 of them yesterday.
Nice. So maybe just flip 1 for the profit and hold the other one. That way you're minimizing your risk.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Mario, you could have a group. I would be in.
Problem is I make a lot of bad decisions too, so
it's do your own research, but all of this is do your own research. That's the problem. If you've only got like 2 hours before the drop or something like that, that's the real issue. It's if you got a little bit of time, then you can, but that's the crux of it.
That's the problem when Mario comes into the room with us, because I'm always like momming the situation. I'm always like, well, remember, you have to do your research and don't FOMO into it. And Mario's like, you don't really always have time. You kind of just, he's like very Gary in a situation. He's like, go, go, go. And he gets shit done because he made it happen. But I'm like,
if it's hyped enough, I won't. It's so true though. If the project's hyped enough and there's like, I don't know, like, 8,000 people in Discord, then, I don't really have to do, I guess, as much due diligence. I still will, but it'll take me way quicker. I'm just going to look at the team real quick, go on their Twitter, and try and see if I can find the team, go on their team's Twitter, and kind of vet that way.
like what we've come up with as far as what to do. But the thing is like, you know how to navigate that. Like for me, when I tried to look up like the devs for different things and I'm trying to figure out like who they are on Twitter, I'm like reading their Twitter. I'm like, this doesn't mean shit to me. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know how you still vet them. It's still like a mystery to me. And so like, I love when you share about what you're working on, because I feel like little bit by little bit, I get a little bite of it each week and I'm like slowly learning, but I don't know if I'll ever be at that level where I feel like I could just like flip like where you're at. I mean, maybe talk to me in a year. I don't know if I keep like following along with what you're doing and learning and figuring out exactly what you're supposed to be looking for on Twitter when you're looking in the Discords at people and what questions to ask and stuff. It gets easier, I'm sure, over time by just sheer like number of doing it. But like, see, like you started with such a little bit and you still had to risk. Like you still had to be like, you're like, F it, I'm going for a V-friend. And like, I got nothing to lose here. Like this is everything. And like, I feel like when you have that motivation, there's like a fire to your ass and you're like, you go, it's different.
Yeah. And I was playing with house money so I flipped right away and I took like my initial investment back. So I was just playing with pure profits. So I think that kind of takes the stress out a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
You took some off the top is that what you're saying? Like,
so like the first thing I flipped was an M&M NFT and it just took all of it. So I think I spent like $350 and I made $500 and I just completely took it all. And in that way, but I still had like 3 or 4 I had like 3 or 4 different NFTs on top of that. So when those sold, I was playing with that money from that, or I think I might have left myself like 0.01 or something but yeah, it's something along those lines. But that's probably why I had to add $600 like a couple weeks later, because I got choked a little bit.
But still, you started with, I don't want to say it's not a lot, but because it's $600 is still a lot of money to a lot of people, right? But even still, like you started with that and you were willing to like go for it. And for whatever reason, like you just had that in you to still be able to take that risk over and over again. And, I don't know if it's like your makeup or if it was just the circumstance, because you really had a goal like in mind. Because like it is like the Wild West. And I think like if you do want to learn about it, I think for me, I'm going slow because I'm like not trying to like, I don't want to fuck it up. It's the way I conduct it. Like
process for sure.
I was interested in queenship. I told you about that, right? Like I was interested in that project, but we've been talking for weeks and I was still like, okay, like I can see they have these people. Like I was looking at the things, I was doing all the things we talked about, but the contract, I would have never known like to ask for that. And so like that's why I said to post, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I know he was so busy, he never got back to me. So like, I still don't even know, like, how would you even verify, like if they gave you a contract, like what are you supposed to do? I know people say you go on Etherscan, but like, talk to me like Yeah. Like, talk to me like I know what that means. You know, like, how do you vet that as somebody, you know, are you just supposed to take the numbers in a Discord? I mean, because I would have taken their Discord as being a healthy Discord based on the numbers that we were talking about in our sessions, right? Like, so really, if it wasn't for that contract piece, it, you know, that's really the one thing that I was like, well, why does that matter? Like, why does every good project have to give the contract ahead of time? Because I know from what we've talked about, though, Mario, is like we've found, you know, the back door into minting without the website, right? So
Yeah, exactly. So that's the contract.
right, but that's my point is what if those creators didn't want to give that out ahead of time because they didn't want people doing that?
You could just go to OpenSea on their official collection and just check it there. So there's always ways around it too. I've seen one project do it so far where they just they posted it like at the drop day, so they didn't want anyone to like set it up ahead of time, kind of thing.
Well, you still have to turn it on, right? Like you said, it still has to be active in order for somebody to mint on it or something, right?
Exactly.
So, but so I guess they would really have no excuse to not provide the contract because they would still have to activate it in order for somebody to be able to mint behind the scenes. Okay.
Bots, really. And then if people are good at developing and stuff, they can read the code and they can kind of, I think it's to see like they could see loopholes. You know, it's kind of to stop the FUD at the same time, because people will say they'll just grab a random snippet and it'll say a string of code, and it's so easy to manipulate. Oh, it means this, right? General people won't know that it actually means, like, I don't know. It's just, I think it's for a protection thing, kind of thing. But a lot of good projects will definitely show like an hour or 2 hours before. But yeah, I think it's to minimize the bots, because you can set up like multiple web pages with multiple wallets, and just like that's why the whales buy 200 in one shot, kind of thing, right? They have a script and it just does everything automatic.
What do you mean they have a script? You're talking about the bot has like an
Yeah, like they'll program the bots so that they all work together, like they'll all purchase at the same time for them. Everything's automated.
So interesting.
Right? Like I still think, I don't know how I would feel, because Twitter is so like, it's funny. One of my favorite artists, singers, says it's Apple. I can't even say the word. It's just crazy on Twitter. Twitter's crazy. People go nuts. And so like, you're right. They create FUD. And like, I feel like as somebody, as a creator, like there's like this nervous energy in my thought process, like to see how people could take snippets like that and like just put it out there and like try to wreck your project ahead of time. Wouldn't people be more cautious about sharing that? So like I'm just trying to understand, like, does that actually indicate whether or not it's a good project or not? Like whether or not they share that?
Well, it's just, you can verify if it was developed by Solidity. You can verify if it's in the IP or IPFS. Like you can verify a bunch of stuff in the contract like right away, just to make sure that things are clean. Especially if like the developers can, like, Mike, he can explain this way better than me. Like for example, if he took a look at the contract, he'd be able to tell you like what was wrong and what was like, you know, what's wrong, or if there's anything missing, or if there's something like a lack of like traits or something. Like he would be able to kind of figure out, to a certain extent, obviously, because there is a lot of things hidden, but to a certain, like, he'd be able to figure out a better sense of the project, I guess. And like but most of the times people will just ask for the contract because they want to mint from it. And it's again, you don't really trust the website, right? Like it's sketchy connecting your MetaMask wallet to a website that you don't really know. And then also it's way faster when you mint from the contract than it is minting from the website. You don't have to deal with the server delays and blah, blah, blah. So you're actually beating the gas pump when you mint from the contract. So that's why every time I do a project, I mint from the contract, and it's always in the first like minute, and I'm always beating the gas pump. So my gas is lower than what the average person is spending for that project.
Yeah, and that's the real plus, I feel like. Not only the gas prices, but getting in, like stuff sells out sometimes in like minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mario. Oh, sorry, Nicole. I was going to ask Mario. I'm not sure. What type of things do you have? Like chiller tax situations for NFTs?
Do I have some what? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I said chiller. Like, is the taxes around flipping NFTs something that you have to worry about, or no?
I personally
you.
don't, just because that's what I'm like studying for, and I have experience in
Right.
bookkeeping and stuff. But it's definitely something that if you don't have experience, it's definitely something that you should consider looking into as soon as possible.
Right.
Because, yeah, it works
Flipping
kind of the
can
same.
be troublesome with that. You're not based out of the US? Are you based out of Canada? If I'm
Yeah, that's
remembering
correct.
correctly. So like the taxes are a bit different there for it.
Yeah, it is.
Because
in
I just
Canada,
feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Ask your question.
I was just going to say a lot of the times that deters me from the flip game is the taxes here.
Oh, got you. In Canada, it's just like a regular business. So if you're just running a restaurant or whatever, so they're just gonna take your profits and then they're just gonna go against your gas fees and stuff. So your expenses, and then it just like so one goes against the other, and it's whatever, because there's no GST, right, and all this. So it's pretty straightforward.
And how are the percentages? Because I know, like, if you wait like a year here, the capital gains drops probably I think it's probably around like 40 to 15%. Is that like a thing with you guys?
Yeah, it is the same exact thing. Yeah. So there's short-term and long-term capital gains. So yeah, but for obviously, I'm like day trading NFTs basically. Like that's basically what I'm doing at the end of the day. So they treat me as like just regular business income, and it just depends. Yeah, so it'll just depend on, I guess, how much I make, like in the year,
overall.
Right? Yeah,
that's great, because I kind of feel like it's a bit a little I don't know, shittier here.
Oh damn! Yeah, I heard the American government is worse for like taxing. I heard. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard for the NFT space.
Yeah, for me, it's a little unclear as well. I've been kind of looking into it, but it definitely feels like it is.
It's certainly a concern because I feel like just from different conversations, like every time you make a transaction, it's a tax event. It feels like.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I mean, Mario sent me something where you can like actually like extract all of your like everything, and I think anybody can do this like right from your scan, right? Is that what it is? And put it in an Excel file?
Yeah, you just put your MetaMask address into the Etherscan, and on the bottom right it says export to like a Excel spreadsheet, and then you can select your date range. And yeah, it just spits it out in the Excel spreadsheet. It's safe, you don't have to connect your wallet or anything, and it's official because it's Etherscan.
That's really great. And then when it comes to just, I know the tax, like this year, they're saying that transferring NFTs won't be considered a taxable event. But again, that hasn't actually happened yet. So it's like, for me, like I would love to move some of my stuff to my ledger, but I'm actually waiting until the tax season comes and goes to see that 100% that won't be considered a taxable event, because I know last time they did, and it is pretty clear that shouldn't be a taxable event. But I'm gonna wait this year to see if that actually happens, and then I'll move my shit.
How is
It's
that even recorded?
It's not in Canada. I can tell you that guaranteed. It's definitely not
and the
taxable.
U.S. clarified that recently, that transferring in your own wallets is not a taxable event.
Right.
It's a misunderstanding. But
it
it's on
hasn't
the
actually happened yet, like
it has.
through a tax season.
The IRS updated the wording for that checkbox.
Right, but I guess my point was that we haven't actually gone through a tax season where tax professionals have like correctly done it yet.
Oh, that's a
Right, but
good
I'm saying
point.
the IRS did correct it, so it's clear going forward that transferring between your own wallets is not taxable. It's on the IRS website. I could find the link and post it in the live clubhouse later. I'm not at a computer.
And it's been changed. Like I was speaking with Nick about this, and it's just something that like he had to deal with, where he was trying to explain to them this shouldn't be a taxable event. This was obviously last time.
Yeah, it was in
And
2017. Yeah.
right, exactly. And it was like really shitty that they didn't figure that out sooner. And yes, now they have figured it out. It is pretty clear that that's the case moving forward. But because I'm still even going to wait, because there's not a lot of crypto, not a lot of people who really know this well, that I'm still going to kind of wait for the process to go through for a full year, so it's fully clear. It's already happened. But yes, I am aware that the language has been cleared up.
Hasn't it been happening for like 3 years, and they just keep changing every year? For 4 years now? Like for the, right, they just keep updating and changing the rules for the NFT taxes pretty much every year.
Yeah, they keep adding more guidance. I mean, it still isn't good enough, but I mean, there wasn't any guidance in the past, but then they ruled against you for that fact. At least now they're making it more clear, at least in general, what the intent is. I mean, I think over the next few years it'll get better and more. I mean, there are things that still are very vague, and you need someone that's going to be able to defend your, like if you're going to do a loan with ETH, things like that, and not to have that be a taxable event. That's very vague and unclear. There's a couple of schools of thought. So definitely, if you're doing things like that, you need to have a firm that's going to be fighting your audit for you, kind of thing, and it could go either way. But they did clarify a lot in the last few months that makes it much easier. I mean, the reporting requirements we have to go through, especially for us like that are flipping through multiple wallets and buying from different places and things, are a little arduous. If those sites aren't you can't just plug in all your public addresses and have it all kind of do it for you, which I mean that'll get better too, because there's enough demand in the space for it. But I mean, as far as what you're supposed to report and what you're supposed to be paying tax on, that's been cleared with guidance, at least thankfully finally this year, to avoid the type of situations where like Nick went through where there wasn't guidance and then they enforced rules that were kind of arbitrary and nonsensical back 4 years ago.
That's crazy. And like virtual land is going to be in a special category, I think.
NFT creators are going to possibly have an issue as well, because of the new legislation that's coming through the House, I believe now. I don't know if they passed it or not yet, but it is unclear what the term broker means in the definitions that they use. And it is so broad that it could theoretically be applied to anyone who buys or sells crypto, which means that if it is true that that's how they are going to enforce it, you would be required to report to the government your users that you're selling things to.
Oh yeah, you have to do that in Canada. You have to put all the wallet addresses that like you sold your assets to.
Yeah. Well, no, this is going a little bit further, so that it's basically reporting to the government so they can tax that person. So you need to collect names and identifiable information.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
the rule that's supposed to only apply to brokers like Coinbase and Binance. Right. Then they wrote the law, they were sloppy, and at least in the Senate, 99 senators agreed to an amendment to fix it, and one held out because he wanted money for defense spending in his district, and now it's in the House. So if the House doesn't fix it, it's a problem.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
I mean, it's ironic that 99 senators bipartisan agreed that the language was oopsie. We didn't mean to do that, but one fucker that's actually not even running for Congress anymore. He's retiring at the end of this term. So go our government.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it sounds like they're trying to, what they're trying to do is to take like as much as they can, right, from your profits. Basically, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want to make sure that you actually, like, say, the guidance I was talking about. This is all to enforce that guidance. They want to make sure you're paying your taxes when you're actually having the taxable events that they spelled out. And the only way to do that is to have better reporting requirements. But yeah, the law goes a step too far and just stifles the system. So, I mean, they're aware of that, but it has to get fixed, obviously, before it's passed or afterwards. It'll be a nightmare.
I mean, just to be the devil's advocate, like the fact that 99 senators figured out the right thing to do in crypto is, I'm not worrying too much because that's the most positive news from the dunderheads in those positions that I could have imagined. But I mean, so it's not over till it's over. But
yeah, exactly. I mean,
there's
common sense on both sides about the issue. It's not a Republican or a Democrat thing. It's we need to work on this because it's a U.S. thing. Yeah, it's best for the country, but it's fucked up is the way our system's controlled and the like policies and procedures they go through. That one senator could fuck with fixing something that is good for the country.
And you know what else is interesting too is giveaways. Like if you get giveaways or gifts, I already forget what you do. But if you give giveaways, you can actually put them in advertising. Like you can claim it as advertisement, so you get money back for that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's also things with like buying your crypto or selling your crypto after a wash and then buying it again, but you could get in a lot of trouble doing all this wrong. So I don't know anything, and I'm just a guy in Clubhouse, so don't listen to me.
Yeah, I mean that's actually an advantage at the moment. I mean they'll change that rule and probably have it aligned with the regular like stock. But yeah, there is no wash rule right now, so you could sell your stuff at a loss today and buy it back tomorrow the same currency without having to do that to the harvest losses and things. So I mean there's some advantages to the fact that they haven't quite gotten ahead and fixed it, but in some areas, but I guess the pro and con to that.
Yeah, it's good to keep track of stuff and maybe even make a little note sheet of your stuff on your computer. Just even obviously you have from Etherscan, but even just being like, this was a giveaway, this was a this, just kind of giving little notes and whatnot.
Oh my gosh.
Because I would have never thought to make a note about that at all.
Yeah.
December 31st, everyone's going to be giving away Yetis.
Yeah. Gotta lock in those losses.
How's it going, Jeremy?
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good. Like this guy just told us that the bots that come in, they post their 10 messages in 5 seconds. And so you can ban them, but the messages is still planted in the DMs for the victims. They're throwaway accounts. So banning doesn't do anything. Even if a bot is banned, the message is still in the DMs. So like Crystal and so many people on the mod team have been hustling. I posted a picture in the stories, but literally 24 bots will join the VFriends Discord all at once in the matter of a moment. And this has happened, every day for the last week, maybe not quite so long, maybe 4 or 5 days. And now he's telling us that our strategy of banning them is doing absolutely no good. The damage is already done. And he did give 2 VFriends back and at least 1 more, and he's still here. And the Discord is being very kind, but he's got hundreds and hundreds of ETH and VFriends, ETH in VFriends, and or maybe just holding ETH, and it's devastating. It's devastating that this is happening. Personally, I'm fine though. Thanks for asking.
I know that some Discords have a CAPTCHA bot for when people join. I don't know if that's something that actually works or can help prevent
it can work.
Joining a bot.
Corso's been working on it. I think I'm not sure if it's been deployed yet, but they are working on it.
Okay.
It doesn't solve the problem.
Why?
Because the bot can just fill the captcha.
Yeah.
That, or you don't even need the bot to do these scams. Some keep making accounts and enter. There's enough value getting done out of being a little more hands-on with it than just having it being automated across all Discords too. And the problem is we're a community that's a massive target, so you only need one person to fall for it to pay off for weeks of sitting there working. Right at this point, what the value of these are, if you're sitting in a basement somewhere.
So true. It's so sick though. Like it's sickening. It's so true though.
Yeah, it's so sad. And again, I just hope people don't give out their secret recovery phrase.
This is me, Marcus, being dumb again. I started playing around with Discord bots not too long ago because I wanted to play around with my server. I know this is a little late because it's already the information is out there, but I was thinking, maybe you could create like a subcategory of NFTs, and then get your wallet verified inside of the Discord in order to be part of the befriend. It's not gonna be cost effective because you're basically giving those NFTs away, but you're gonna know who's gonna receive them.
Yeah, the thing is, even with that, someone could buy one core and still run the scam to steal more and throw away their core. It doesn't. It's just like anything. It's like the lock on your front door is you could have 80 locks, but you could just smash the window or cut a hole in the drywall and the wood on the side panel, still get in the house, right? So security so much wants to. Obviously making it harder makes sense. So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but the issue, it's like we're such a target that it's more vigilance and awareness. And I think the biggest problem we really have with most of these that we track down is like memorizing your seed phrase or normalizing it being typed into a keyboard needs to stop. You can still connect your Ledger wallet to the wrong site and theoretically give them away, but that's not where all these scams come from. They come from thinking that I'm doing what I was taught, that I don't give away my seed phrase. I only type into MetaMask. Oh wait, my browser updated and MetaMask needs to reinstall. I guess this looks right. Like that normalization of and being able to be fooled in that way is a major problem. It's like having to getting that message out that you have a hardware wallet and that the seed phrase is never allowed to be typed into a phone or with a keyboard. You're only ever clicking two little buttons to insert it into the hardware device and a new one you buy. That would eliminate pretty much almost every scam that we've been able to track down. There's a couple out there in our community that we're not 100% sure what happened, but the majority of them, and even those most likely happened because of the keylogger or a computer being compromised with the seed phrase being typed into it. So again, if the seed phrase was never typed in and we don't memorize and remember it like a password, it would cut down on a lot of this, and keeping the bots out isn't an issue then, because you wouldn't have that risk, right?
Yeah, I really can't wait until things become a little bit more user friendly. We are obviously so early in this, but that'll be great. Stuff like that will definitely be a huge it's gonna end it.
Yeah, and like you just said, that's the problem. I've walked, I don't even know how many people through setting them up. People are afraid to set up the ledger. They're afraid to transfer things. It looks clunky. It's slow. It's this. It's and then other people come in the conversation even in general befriends, and will be like, "Oh, you don't need it. Just don't give away your seed phrase. Don't type it into a website." It's like, right, but people aren't sending it in a random website that says type in my seed. And maybe some people have. I'm not saying all. There are people that formed for that earlier on too. But at this point, what's happened in the last week across multiple Discord, multiple communities, and in here is thinking it's MetaMask, thinking it seems right, and in that lapse of judgment, you type it in. But if we normalize that and make, obviously, yeah, like the ledger process needs to be a little less clunky, and even you have it, and then all of a sudden Chrome updates and there's a little glitch with the way it connects, or it's a little slow. But those things, especially for the value that we're getting, needs to there just needs to be that narrative that it's worth that little hassle to secure the things. And at the end of the day, if you have a $20,000 investment and you're going to spend $100, and even if you don't ever use that wallet, you want to stick with your software wallet for everything else you do, that's fine. But at least secure those really valuable assets on a hardware wallet that you're not touching. Because then when you connect and you fuck up and type in your seed phrase for your software wallet, all you lose is the couple of new things you bought, not the stuff that's going to destroy you. I mean, I haven't had it happen to me, but I feel like it does every time someone else I know in this community says what happened. I mean, it might as well have been someone in my house that was just robbed or stabbed.
Yeah, I hear you.
I got one of the messages from Board Ape.
Delete it.
It did.
I think I've gotten all of them from all the scams.
Yeah, me too. I just block immediately.
I do too. I report and then block.
I did that this time. I usually just close the DM. I didn't block actually, so I don't think I know how to do that, but I did report. And this time usually I never read them. If I don't know who it is, I immediately just like close the DM. But this time I read it and I was looking at it and like it doesn't, what is it? People are clicking that link and that link is taking them somewhere else, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, it's not a real link. Like it's usually
It's
dot
not a real
CC or dot. It's like a dot something else. It's not like the official website.
Right.
So
And then
that's
it
why
asks
I
you to
would-
connect your wallet.
I would recommend like Gary and them to like tell people they should bring that also as an awareness thing. Like don't click links ever. And like you're always better to go to their official Twitter and their official Discord.
Yeah.
Like if they were gonna give something like that away, they would make an announcement on Twitter. They would let people come to them. Like you know what I mean? They wouldn't go to your DMs and message you. Like I don't know, it's just a little ridiculous, like logically speaking. They wouldn't go out of their way to DM everybody, you know?
I agree. I think sometimes, like, because I think it's obvious. I'm just so bummed for these people. I don't even want to think like, man, didn't you think that? You know, like I just don't even want to think that because it like breaks my heart that it happens to them. You know what I mean? Even though I kind of felt like it was obvious.
And you could be like a little bit drunk or sleepy or high, and
Exactly.
Shit, that's a good point.
That's when I feel like that's when people get caught.
Yep.
Or your kids talking to you or pulling on your leg.
yeah, the equivalent.
Yep.
You were talking about like checking the Twitter. Even with that, you still have to be careful because like, and I hate to even say like the verified, non-verified, but like sometimes those accounts like aren't verified and there's like dummy accounts too. So like,
Yeah, I meant their
you have to
official
watch.
Twitter. The project's official Twitter.
But that's what I mean. But like, you still have to like really be careful with that though too. I feel like,
Yeah, of
I don't
course.
know. Well, with Board Ape Yacht Club, obviously they have an established account, but I don't know. Like, I feel like it gets, I don't know. I feel like it gets really hard to vet these things. Just, I would not click on anything. I'm like so anti-link. Jacob messaged me the thing for Corso and he goes, okay, if you don't want to click the link, you can go to OpenSea and search it.
Yeah, I didn't want to be part of the problem. I'm like, don't get used to this. So
It's so true though. It's good hygiene for like, you know, interacting in this space. Like it's just, there's still so much I feel like all of us have to learn, and it's so shitty that in like a matter of a week we're dealing with this again. But like I did it this time. I read it and I could see, like, I just see how somebody just not in the right headspace could so easily click on that, and it really makes me want to close the DM thing again, right? Like unless it's a friend, but then you can't get the POAP bot, and so I don't know what to do here. I feel like maybe this is a problem. I need your feedback, guys, about the POAP. Do you want me to still do the POAP bot? Does it matter? You know,
Yes.
I don't know what,
I
what
mean,
does the
it's
POAP bot do?
The POAP bot, you just put
my
the
life.
password in and it sends you the thing. I mean, we know you're going out to we're reaching out to it, not it reaching out to us.
Okay. I just get nervous about that. That'll be the next thing to watch out for. So don't answer the POAP bot unless you've called the POAP bot. I don't ever want to be responsible for that.
And also the POAP bot, you could put a little warning every time every day that the POAP bot will not ask for your seed phrase or ask you to reinstall it in MetaMask. It has nothing to do. I mean, you're redeeming
That's
it
actually a great idea.
on the date, whatever, how you say the network. So you're just having a little warning. That way you feel I get where you're coming from. You don't want someone to make a mistake because of it. So we could just post a little warning every day, and there's going to be one in the chat.
I genuinely feel like if people do that more often, like just do that more often, it's going to help at least maybe one person.
Well, everybody, we hit the 11 o'clock mark, which I'm putting these rooms down for 2 hours tight. So if anybody does want to stay, Jeremy, that's entirely up to you. But I want to give people an out now since it's been the 2 hours, and I don't want anybody to FOMO and think we're going to miss something, outrageously good from hanging out.
I think that's a good idea. It's been a wild night. I love this community, and I'm grateful for everybody who stuck around. I certainly learned a lot. So thank you to Mario and Tyler and Jacob, everybody who contributed, Kevin and Carly, and there's a really strong desire I have to just like read every single name in the room because I want people to know that I see you. But I will allow for the out, as you said. I'm going to stick around for just a little while longer and give space for anybody who had questions or wanted to continue the conversation. But I probably will also step out in the next 5 to 10 minutes, especially if there's not any questions. So thanks again, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
What's up, y'all?
Thank you.
Who was that?
We're going to miss you, Nicole.
Hey, Ricky.
Hey, yo.
Ricky's having a good night.
It's a good night. It's a good night.
Hi.
What's making it such a good night? I'm excited by your excitement.
You know, I got my Domino's pizza and a glass of red wine, and that's a pretty good night.
Okay.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Hey, quick question for you guys. I don't know if anyone listened in on the WoW
announcement.
What was it? Not raffle, but shoot. Wasn't a giveaway. Auction.
Jamie.
Sorry. They were thinking that Gary was the one who gave the final bid.
Yeah, you saw that?
Yeah, I was in there.
Yeah, Jeremy, I'm sorry. That probably should have made the news. Shit.
What was the news?
Auction that was like a charity giveaway. It was like kind of sitting around like 10 ETH, I think, and then it jumped up to 15 or something. And then it was like, oh my God, Gary's the one who just did that. And like they weren't really sure, but they kind of thought. And so the auction ended where Gary purchased the one of one, and like that entire like it was like 60 grand went to that charity.
That's awesome.
Like a women's charity. It wasn't Too Young to Wed. It was a smaller one where they were like, holy shit, this is going to be huge for them.
Wow.
I wish you could see my smile. That makes me so fucking happy. I think that's the Lightning Woman one, right? Is that
I mean, I love that.
Me too.
This project. Yeah, it's so good. I'm so glad Gary hooked us up with that in.
Well, you know, I feel like I definitely, I like the project. I like the project independently of Gary liking it, but the fact that he likes it so much and is endorsing it gives me confidence in my wanting to hold them.
I love the project, but I never would have known about them if it wasn't for him. I'm just not I'm not Mario, you know. But I love this project. It's now like one of my favorites.
It's definitely my favorite. It is my favorite.
Yeah, right. It's awesome.
And I love you, friends, but it's my favorite.
just to be the analytical person in the room, when people start saying things like that, like that's the makings of a bored ape, like the bored apes, like people
I hear that.
want to
go.
just be in it. I mean, and then that happens, that's impressed. Like if you were gonna like flip and stay in one project, that would be at the top of my list besides just be friends. And maybe that's up there, but
I feel the same way, Jacob. And then the other cool thing is they're doing some stuff. They're like 2 weeks in or something, so this is cool. But I feel like they're taking some things from like Gary's NFT project, like ideas, and I thought that was really cool. Like kind of like the mammal, the bird, that's like the new update. I think it's like Mother Earth or something. They're putting categories, and then your World of Women will be in one of those categories, obviously. And then I think they're giving something away for each category. Like they're doing some cool shit, and a lot of charity to women charities, and I don't know. I love it. Fire.
All of what you said.
I definitely think it's going to be one of those blue chip projects that everybody talks about. Like they're only 2 weeks in, so can you imagine like in 3 months from now? I don't know. They're doing everything right, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listed mine and I had to delist it. Like it feels like something worth holding.
I was so happy when you decided that, because I wasn't about to like tell you what to do because you had now eyes. But I was like, yo, Jeremy, come on now. That made me so happy that you delisted it. I'm so happy you're in the World of Women, Pam.
Yeah, me too. And like I had a really visceral moment when I bought this lady and this woman, and it just like I see my mother in this, and like I know it's like a little irrational to like project my mother. My mother immigrated from Argentina when she was 19. And she's now a CPA. She works as an accountant. Like she supported our family through a lot of hard times, and she's just so strong. And like I totally see. I'm looking at it right now. I just totally see her in this. And like the thought that I could have that thought when I bought it, and that I would sell it so easily, was like just didn't sit right with me. And on top of the fact that they're doing everything right, I had to delist it.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Same.
Every single night I give Gary the invite to our StreamYard, and he has yet to join. But it could be any moment.
Imagine him making like an alt account and coming in here, nobody knowing. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. My concern is I'm like focused on the podcast, and he comes into the StreamYard and I don't see it. It's because I don't get like a notification or anything. It's just a little added window.
Oh shit.
And he can't talk to me. Like you can't talk if you're backstage, or I can't hear you at least. These are the thoughts I have.
I feel like Gary would not allow himself to not be able to talk, so he would figure out a way.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Jersey girl, so I know that. Okay.
I feel you.
Hey everybody, hey fellow V friends, Keen down here. Haven't been around in a while. Just wanted to say what's up. Saw the room going on.
Hey.
What's happening?
Hey.
What's good, man?
Not too much. I hear you guys talking about World of Women. Awesome project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do the we most of us came together because of the V Friends project.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we do the weekly news every night at 9, every Wednesday night at 9 p.m.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I ran. Very nice. That's what's up.
If you want to
you
want to check it out, it's the podcast is up. It's at the podcast is Jeremy Knows on all the platforms you might listen to it. Jeremy Knows.
That's Jeremy Knows. Cool, man. I will check it out.
That'd be awesome. I appreciate that.
100%.
Yeah,
So, Jeremy, do you know that Keen has NFT Catcher?
I did not know that.
So that
You run NFT Catcher or you have it? Oh, you're
Yeah,
the co-founder. That's incredible.
NFTcatcher.io is it's a website where we aggregate NFT drops from across all the different platforms. So it's basically like a list every day of, I won't say everything, but as much as we can find. We are the most comprehensive list. Like, we try and even do like Upland and Top Shot and, everything we can find, all the generative projects, obviously. And like that Tom Brady thing today and just, everything we can find, we get up on there.
That's
I also
awesome.
actually have a podcast of my own, believe it or not, the NFT Catcher podcast, also wherever you can find podcasts. I've done 2 episodes with Jennifer Sudo from Evaluate.market. We're having a good time doing that. I don't mean to throw a plug, but since you mentioned a podcast, I
No,
figured I would as
please.
well.
Actually,
Yeah.
somebody just turned me on to NFT Catcher yesterday. I have your tab. Have your tab open on my browser. I would love to have you on the podcast. Actually,
100%. That would be amazing. I'd love to do that. I've been on a bunch. I love chatting about all NFTs. So that would be great.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah, 100%.
And that's how it happens.
That's how it happens. It's funny that you say someone told you about it. Our subscriptions have been like exploding. We usually would get we've been open since early May is when we launched our website, and we were getting 100, 150 a day at first, and then it was like 50, 70 a day for a while, and then the last 3 or 4 or 5 days it's been like 200, 300, even like 350 a day. I'm not really sure what happened. We've been doing a lot of Twitter giveaways, like a lot of projects are giving us stuff to give away, and I don't know, man. But yeah,
are you NFT Ticket on Twitter? Is this you?
Yeah, NF Ticket. Yep.
Yep. NF Ticket. Yeah,
that's me. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I was already following you, I guess.
Oh, cool. Am I following you?
No.
Let me see. Oh, sorry, man. Let me get in there and do it right now.
It's all good. I'm a small fish, man.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Listen, 2 months ago, I had like 100 followers. I'm not even joking. I got an ape. I posted some floor prices, and then all of a sudden, I have like all these followers.
Yeah.
It happened really fast. I've had Twitter open since 2012. Never really used it, and now I have like 3,700 followers out of nowhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. And I am a VFriend. I was a huge proponent of VFriend going up to it, even on Clubhouse when a lot of like the art types and the kind of people were against. Nobody's against it anymore. Everyone can see how amazing it is, but people were kind of. I was defending. I was a big defender, big proponent. Was never doubted, even when there was a delay and it wasn't selling great at first. I never doubted.
Likewise.
I was with you, Michael. I don't remember if you recall when we first met.
Yep.
Actually, Keen was in our very first clubhouse here for Let's Be Friends.
Was that Saturday morning one?
Yes, it was.
Yes, I remember. I woke up. I remember that. Yep.
You were here for the inaugural show. It's really fun.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really glad that you came in here tonight because we actually were talking a lot about like how to find out about where to find NFTs and stuff, and it totally slipped our minds. Like I know Jeremy knows about it.
Yeah.
I think Ron told you about it, Jeremy.
That's right, he did.
Yeah, Ron's the man. He tells me he's been telling everybody. I know a lot of people tell me they came from Ron, and for sure.
You got to give him a commission for all those.
I know, I do. He's one of our biggest and earliest supporters for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, he was there that day too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had me. That might have even. I don't know if that's when we met or I'm not sure, but I was on the Stars podcast very shortly after that, and now we're actually going to do a Monday morning little quick thing together, him and I, moving forward.
That's awesome, and I do think that it happened in the room just like this. I really.
Exactly. Yep.
Love
That's how,
that.
man. I can't even tell you guys all the people I've met literally on Clubhouse that I'm like partnering up with in different things. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear what you and Ron are going to bring out. I feel like that'll be great energy, the two of you together. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. We're doing it's going to be like a top 5 review of the week, basically like the top 5 like projects that came out or news stories of the week is what it's going to be, like a quick rundown. We kind of chatter back and forth about it, but yeah.
Will you do me a favor and send that to me? Is that possible? Because we'll use that as content.
Okay.
On our Thursday show, we'll use like whatever you guys suggest as like, you know, the things to talk about. I think that's a really great, and then we can also cross promote what you guys are doing too.
Well,
so
definitely that'll be fun for sure. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah.
absolutely. So what's your take on World of Women?
It's a very strong project. I obviously don't know. I haven't gotten into like the nitty gritty of what they're offering and what their roadmap is. I try to follow so much at one time that like I'm kind of losing a little bit of the minutia of some of them. But like, so that one I was watching, and it wasn't selling very well at first. And then Gary V tweets about it, and he tells people mint, mint, mint. And he actually caught a little bit of flack for that, didn't he?
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, he caught a little bit of flack for that, but how right was he again?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so, and then it's sold out, and the rest is history. I mean, they're great. I'm someone that buys and sells a lot of NFTs. Like, I bought and sold a couple. Obviously, I should have held them. I say a lot of times, like, I'd be better off if I never sold anything. But that's just the way I do it. I'm always buying and selling. I mean, every day I'm buying and selling. I'm actually also into. Do you guys know the long necky ladies?
Yep.
Yeah. I like
Good
that. I like.
one.
There's a lot. She's from Philadelphia, not from Philadelphia. So, and yeah, I like what I like about that one is only 3,300 of them. So if it does end up popping, you know, the supply is really low. Dario Di Siena bought one today. Not that it's like, you know, that big of a deal, but I don't know. I like that she's from Philly. And I like the art on that one as well. But the World of Women, I mean, that's a project that really, like, I heard what you guys were saying, and you're right. It could be one of those like benchmark projects. It's still got a long way to go because, you know, obviously there's 5 coming out every day, and everyone's trying to do stuff like that. But it's really.
And I love what they said about, like, you know, the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Like they were low prices for a long, long time, and like they slowly built their community and they did a lot of stuff. And I know that they're looking to do stuff like that and a lot of similar stuff to Gary's project. So I think they got a lot of good projects to look at for guidance.
They do, and honestly, any project that gets in with the VFriends community is in a really good spot.
Yeah,
like
let's
that's
fucking
you know,
go.
Yeah, that's a good place to be.
And the historical significance of this project, they're the first all-woman team, right? For all-woman project, like officially for 10K.
Not a team though, and that's where he made a mistake. Gary messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 3 women.
No. Yeah, it's just the artist is female, but even still, it's female led, and that's good enough.
Female led.
And male allies.
And that's wonderful. That's times because sometimes you need that. To be honest.
All women project. Yeah.
Well, that'll be really cool too. But you know, actually, while you were talking, Michael or Keen, what do you prefer? Is it Keen? Because that's what your handle is, right?
Absolutely, either way is totally fine.
I'm curious. What the heck was I going to ask you? Because now I got caught up with. Darn it! Hold on. Somebody refresh my memory. What were we saying?
We're talking about World of Women, female-led teams, the female artists.
Ron's podcast, Jeremy's podcast.
Carly, it was something
a little different.
We're talking about Keen's name, Michael.
Rig. Okay.
Women.
Never mind.
We were talking about
it'll come to you. It'll come to you.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
And I also was going to ask, I'm wondering while I got you all in the room, was it ever confirmed? I overheard some of this that the Fame Lady Squad has those NFT projects that were like known to be possible kind of scam background stories. Has that been confirmed?
Full scam.
Yes.
Had a turnaround.
Yeah, had a full turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah, why did it come back
really?
today? I was looking at that. I didn't know why it came back.
Art Chick and Board Becky took it over. Or Board Becky took it over, but Art Chick helped.
He was the broker.
So yeah, Board Becky is actually in control of the token contract now.
So what did they do? They just transferred kind of like almost how Como stepped down and a female stepped in. Is that kind of like what they did?
They transferred the ownership of the contract, and now those Russian guys don't even get royalties at all. Like the contract is completely under the. I don't know if it's under control of like a committee that Board Becky's like in charge of. I think that's the way I was explained to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for the moment, she holds like the sole ownership of it, but she is.
Oh wow.
But she's the steward of it until the Phoenix Project, which is the community figuring out what to do next. Which is a Discord that, was 2 channels when this news broke, and I'm looking at it now is a dozen channels. They're figuring it out and trying to be thoughtful. There's been talk about like being able to burn Fame Ladies to get a different kind of token. Like, anyway, yes, I think there's going to be a community effort that ultimately like has some maybe DAO system over the contract. But for the moment, Becky has
very
control
cool.
of it.
Because instead of just it going down and people kind of who bought in just being like, whoa, this sucks.
Yeah,
like
bag
the
holders.
turnaround, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch.
I sold mine yesterday for like 0.0269 just because I heard that story, and this was before I heard like Art Chicken Board Becky was going to take it over, so I just want to get rid of the token. Oh boy, do I regret that today.
I might have bought that one at close to the price that I bought in, so I don't know.
That's awesome, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't interested in them like 2 weeks ago. I was like 3 weeks ago, even 4 weeks ago. I was like, no, I just didn't want to get one. There was something, I just don't know what it was, but maybe it's because I wasn't finding the things I was looking for, Mario, when we were like trying to figure out the projects. And I don't know if it was maybe the art thing too. Like, I think that's why I love World of Women so much. It's the aesthetic. It kills it. It's so good. But yeah, I think that today I was like, when I saw Becky, or when I saw that Ashley was involved, I was like, I would totally bet on her. Like, I thought of like, that's like betting on Gary. Like, I trust that she's got like what it takes, the chutzpah, the like organization skills, the like, just like the way she's handled her Bored Ape. Like, I thought she's like crushed social media. So I was like, she can really like market this thing and do this well. And I was like, I'm going to get one. And I went in and I was trying to find this awesome, like I wanted one with gray hair. I found one I loved, and I was looking at it and I was shy, like I don't even know. I don't know how to do decimal talking, but I needed 0.1 and I had 0.09. Right. So I was like, whatever that unit way. I don't talk math. This is why I need partners with math. So if you like math and you want to be my friend in business someday, I got great ideas. Oh, Mario's like, I got you. I saw him on mute.
Yeah.
Yes, Mario, you're my people. Yeah. So that was the thing. I couldn't get it, and I was sitting there. I was like, how can I get more money in here? Can I get it? And I was totally about to FOMO into the project because I was really like, this is going to happen. I really, truly believe in my heart that she can do it. And so it's out of range for me right now. Unless it like drops down, I won't be getting in, but I will be rooting so hard for them because I really I wanted to officially be in it so I could root for them like that. But I think it's going to be an epic story if they can like right that ship, because man,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's why I'm so excited to hold, because like the
Yeah.
story is going to be epic now.
Good for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, what a fantastic like turnaround. Like, holy shit. I was so bummed. I was like, oh, I'm not in the project, but I was like, wow, that's a bummer. And like, man, that must have sucked for Gary because like he talked them up, and like, you know, I'm very glad how that worked out.
Yeah, see, you know, it's really funny because like I was trying, the devs thing was freaking me out on a lot of projects. Like I can't figure out who the devs are, and everybody's like, don't worry about it. It's crypto. They're anonymous. I'm like, fuck that. Like, I want to know what they worked on. At least with Stoner Cats, I was able to figure out that he worked on CryptoKitties. I don't know who the dude is. I mean, I eventually found out. Actually, Ron helped me figure out who he was through a podcast, like just connecting dots, right? But like, if there's no dots to connect, I'm like, why do I want to connect my wallet? Like, I just need some more information. So I don't know. I wonder if like a lot of this stuff is going to create more transparency, or if that's just like wishful thinking and people are still going to like, you're going to have to like go based on, I guess, what the community knows. It's like, it's wild. It really is the Wild West. I can't wrap my head around like what the actual parameters are for a good project. And maybe, I mean, Keen, you're the one who collects them. What do you look for when you're like bringing on a project?
When I'm getting ready to buy, you mean? Is that what you said? What do I look for? Like
buy, or even like when you're talking about like when you're putting it into your like, because it's like an aggregated list of.
What are we looking for? We're looking for that. We're not actually telling people what's going to be good. We're putting like basically everything. And it's like, it's, I wouldn't call it a data dump, but like we're trying to get as much in there as we can. We kind of let the user discern. We do have a Discord where we talk about like what we like and what we're doing. I don't give like any kind of financial advice. Obviously, I know that's a cliche, but like I don't ever like, cause I'll make good moves and I'll make bad moves. But what I will always do is be honest about what I'm buying and what I'm selling. You know, if somebody asks, like, I'll tell you what I'm doing and why. But we on the website is like we put it all. Like if there's an artist in here and you guys have a drop coming up and you want me to put it on there, I'll put it right on there for you, right with everybody else.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Thank you.
Good to know.
That is good to know though too. I wonder, does everybody who's using that knows that data is like just like a mashup of everything available? It's not.
Yeah, they can tell it's just like a comprehensive list. This idea actually came to me, and like it came from the ticket world. I've been a ticket broker for about 17 years before I got into NFTs in February. And there's a website called Shows on Sale. You can't go to it because there's a paywall, but it's been so valuable to me. We've subscribed for 10 years, $100 a month, because it's just like every morning you go in there and they have every concert, every sporting event that's going on sale. And I was like, let's do it for NFTs.
Dude, that's awesome. I remember you saying that.
Oh yeah, really, that's fun. Yeah, that was kind of my spiel at first. I was coming into the rooms and having to fill it and letting people know. Yep.
That's brilliant.
Thanks. Thank you very much for saying that. We have a really good team. It's not just me by any means. Nikki, Casey, Mark, Rob, Andy, like we have a really big team of people. Everybody has regular jobs, and we've been, you know, they've all been working really hard. I couldn't have done it without them, no doubt. So I don't want to take like full credit or anything like that. I will take credit for the idea. That I will do.
Yeah. How did you find people that wanted to help you with that? Because that's like, you know, I think when you come up with a project, are you paying them? Sorry,
No, it's fine. It's fine. Nikki and Casey, I've worked with in tickets for the last 5 or 6 years, and we know each other. We trust each other, and like we've made money together for a long time. So it was a little bit natural for me to ask them. Mark, who built the website, I met him through Vivi, and he had built a website for Vivi. So I knew he was good at that. And he lives in Melbourne, Australia. He owns a digital agency down there. And Andy, the one gentleman I mentioned, has been my friend for 20 years and just wants to help. And Rob is another guy I met through Vivi. And he's a real art expert. He worked in galleries, and he's huge into like the pop art world, Comic-Con and all that, and knows like every artist. And he just kind of wanted to help out as well. And now we're actually really close to a couple big paydays that could really take care of them. So it's kind of hopefully starting to pay off, but nobody's made anything yet, to be clear.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool that you guys are all like working together like that towards a big goal. It's really
yeah. It's definitely, we're very lucky to, you know, have a team of people that have put a lot of time in for, you know, we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't at first. My original goal was to like charge the customers just like Shows on Sale did. That was kind of how I figured it would work. But we'd rather not, you know, we'd rather just keep letting people in for free if we can make money other ways, which we're starting to do.
You're starting to let other people in for free is what you're saying?
Oh no, well, everybody's in charge. We don't charge like our users at all. Our Discord's free. Our website's free. We're actually, so what we're doing, so we've done a bunch of like promotional deals. We've worked with Curio. We've worked with Notable. We've worked with a bunch of different projects. But what we're doing right now, we haven't really talked about it too much, but it's not any kind of secret. There's a gentleman named Owo. He's an amazing artist in Nigeria. I've been a fan of his since about March, and he's putting together a generative project. You can look him up right on Instagram if you want to see his art. He puts something out every day. Let me get his exact name for you. It's Anietie, I believe, but let me just get it real quick, and you can look him up. So he's doing a generative project, and we're working with him and basically trying to help put the whole thing together for him with respect to the tech side, and just working with him on strategy and all that. And theoretically, it's going to be the largest scale project to come from the continent of Africa. It's going to be these Afro droids that he's making, and it's going to be a generative project. And we're looking to even go north of 10,000, not by too many, but by something, because that seems to be the way things are going. And it's all looking really sharp and coming together. It hasn't been announced yet publicly. There's not even a website or Discord. That's all going to be launched on the 18th. And I'm not trying to shill that project. You were just talking about what we're doing to make money. And we're really excited about this project. And it's like, he's just really something special. Let me pull up his name real quick for you guys.
I wonder what we're on the topic.
Anietie. So OWO_ANIETIE, if you were interested in checking it out.
Can you spell that one more time?
Sure. OWO is his first name, Owo. And it's underscore AN as in Nancy, IE, T as in Thomas, IE.
Got it.
Yeah.
Followed by OpenSea.
Yeah, Owo's a man. Owo's a real deal artist. All his stuff is sold out pretty much except for one piece on OpenSea. It's all sold out on Known Origin. Like, he's the man. He's a real deal. Like, and people, like, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but like, we've called him the people of Africa because he puts out like something. If you listen to his like story about everyone he does has a story, and it means something to him about like the continent and what's going on. And I mean, 20% of all his proceeds, he's insisting, are going to charity. Like, he's really a real deal kind of guy.
Amazing.
Yeah,
it's incredible. I wonder while we're kind of on the topic. Well, this might change the topic, so please feel free to go ahead. But I was just curious about
change it up.
Your, the launch process. I'm sure you've watched so many drops at this point, and what a website should have, what a Discord should have. Are you providing resources for that? Do you know where there are some resources? Because I'm working on a project, and I'm like a little lost in the weeds on exactly not so much like what the project is or how to create it, but how to, I suppose, market it and organize it in such a way that like it can, I can have an easy to understand roadmap and the front end that makes sense and all that.
I mean, obviously, as we see, there's 5 projects a day or so. Like, are you talking about a 10,000 piece? Or are you talking about, because there's all different, there's
it's
100 piece.
It's not generative. It's more like a utility token for the community that we've built here.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And it actually plays a little role in an interactive video game that I'm making for Instagram.
Oh wow. Okay. And you said it's 10,000?
No, it's 1,500. Actually, now it's 1,555.
Yeah. Very cool. So, I mean, it depends on. I guess like a lot of that depends on how you feel. Like, because for 1,500, you only really need 300 or 400 buyers, probably 500 buyers, maybe. So, like, you have to get a feel. Like, do you think you kind of have that in your community, ready to chomp at it, or do you need to really get out there? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, every project kind of have a different strategy. When you say what do things need, like, I mean, Discord needs a little bit of action, if that makes sense. Like, nobody wants to come into a stale Discord. That's definitely like if I'm looking at a project and I go into their Discord, not know if it's a real small one, like, or if it's just getting started, that's one thing, or if it's a friend of mine, like, but if you go into one and it's one of these big projects and there's like nobody's talked in an hour or two, it's a little bit like, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
So like that's what I was saying. You say, what does the Discord need? Like action, Go ahead, Nicole. I cut you off there.
Too, I check it like once a day. I am not a Discord junkie like you guys. I got to get better at Discord.
No, I just mean if you go into that room and there's nothing going on. Yeah. Oh, right. That there's people. Oh, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, like they're in there. They're living in Discord. Like I know that about the V friends.
Yeah, they are. I know. Discord's tough. I can't even find a server sometimes. Like if there's like one I'm looking for, I'm like I can't even scroll through and find it. Yeah,
I feel that.
Done well, and like I do find so much value when I go into a Discord and I'm looking for something specific, but like just even the fact that like you can have all the different titles and stuff, I get so confused on like the channels. I'm like, no, my brain can't recognize it, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm not complaining. I do want to ask you a question about a particular project that I feel like I've been recruited to talk about, and I was gifted a token, so I want to bring it up to you. It's the Muttnicks. Have you heard of them?
I don't think so. The Muttnicks.
It's okay. It's cosmicpause.io.
Oh, I've been hearing about this.
Cosmicpause.io. It came up in the Saturday show. I had Jessica Yurovsky. Am I saying her last name correctly? Trying to think about it. She's like a contemporary artist and in the NFT space. So she was on and she like kind of brought it up to me. And so the dev Kyle actually came into the room last Saturday and he spent like a lot of time like talking with us, and it ended up feeling like it was a real NFT room. I felt like I was in one of the earlier rooms, not like a VFriends room. Like the whole entire room converted. It was very weird. Like there's barely any VFriends left. But I was just having such great conversations with them about like space, and they were talking about like space race. Like it got wild, but it has to do with like the story of the dogs going up to space and everything. And the anniversary is coming up in November. And so they gifted me one, and I ended up minting one with a purple hat because I was like, well, if I'm gonna generate something, I'm gonna generate something good. So I got the dog that went to space, like the original one. I can't say her name, Lakia or whatever. She's like they're like Russian dogs too. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking on the website right now.
Yeah, and so like there was one I really actually wanted to mint, but it wasn't. I was like, I liked it aesthetically, and I don't think I'll ever get it back again. But
oh right, because you have to like spin. I'm on you do it over and over again until you find one you like.
Yeah, well, I think I might still have the tab open, but we'll see. I'm just not sure because it's a 10,000 project, right? It started a bit ago, and it's only got 300, and I think this is one of the ones that I was looking at for like a case study, because this could be like a slow grow. They just started having clubhouse rooms, and I'm wondering if like now I'm a member, I'm going to be going in with them. I know some of the people. I really know that like the conversation is going to be good. I feel like the community could grow. I'm not crazy about the art, and I told them that flat out. I wasn't trying to be like, whatever. I'm not like trying to be like that, but like if I'm gonna say I love the art, I'm gonna really love it. Like I like it. I don't.
Yeah, don't blow smoke. I mean, it's it's nice and all, but it's the same as what's all been out there.
Yeah.
We're all looking a lot of similar.
I wouldn't have spent my money on it, and I think that's why they knew they were gonna have to hook me by gifting me one, because I was like, I'm not trying to be like. I just was telling them like, I'm probably not gonna. I'll look into the project and I'll talk about it. But
you're an influencer now.
No, I'm not. It just was, but it felt very much like that. And I was like, I don't really know. I don't ever want to say anything about anything unless I actually understand what's going on. And so, right. And so like this is why I kind of want to enjoy this, seeing this really from the ground up, either fizzle out or moon, right? Like, I don't know what, and I say moon as a joke because it's like, going to space. But, I don't feel like they have the community support right now. I know that like I saw Cass was involved with it. I know Jessica's involved. I mean, Jay Lee has one, but like Jay Lee, I remember talking about it a while ago. And so I feel like it's kind of stale to me. And so I'm wondering, this is where I think that broach the topic with me because they know that I have you guys, right? Like I have you guys as your ear. And I told them, I said, because they asked me to tweet it out, and I was like, I'm not. Like I said, no. I'm like not trying to be mean, but I was like, no, like I'll tweet it out at the time is right, but like I'm not gonna put anything out there like unless I know it could actually be good for the community. And so I wanted to see if you knew anything about it, since you're always aware of what's going on, and since you've seen a lot of projects, if you were to watch it, what your actual thoughts are on it, because I don't know enough about projects like this from the inside out, right? Like I'm seeing it from like a community building standpoint. Like I'm watching them try to like, you know, connect the dots with different people and try to have good talks. And they seem to have a really like good room last week, but I didn't go to it because we'd already done a 5-hour room here. And I told my daughter I was going to watch a movie with her, and it was family time. That's that. So, yeah, I really want to know, like, now that you're looking at it, like, it doesn't look like anything special, but with the storyline, do you think they can do anything with that or no? Honestly.
So you said they only minted 300?
I thought so when I looked.
Yeah. I don't know the number. And there's not even like a link to open. Is it called Muttnik or is it called Cosmic Pause? It's a little bit confusing.
You're on OpenSea. It's Muttnik, like NPT and NIKS, I think.
Got it. It looks like 415 if this is the right one. Like, yeah, it is. So I mean, like in these cases, it gets tough because the floor price is 0.035, and what are they trying to mint them for? I don't even want to click the mint button to see. It doesn't even say.
I think they gave it was probably around like 0.9 maybe or something, or
0.09 or 0.08 or something.
Okay, I don't do decimals. Don't ask me, man.
Yeah, no, it's all yeah, definitely not 0.9. But if it is that high, I mean, there's not really much they can do right now. I mean, you get Gary Vee to talk about it, but Gary Vee's not going to talk about one like this because there's not really that much going on. Like,
no way.
Because like when the floor goes below minting, what's the incentive to mint? You're just
so what are you looking at? You said when the floor is below minting, what is the
right? So I don't know exactly what it costs to mint these. So I'm going to click mint just because I'm a glutton for punishment. Don't mint it. Okay, it's not. It's going to ask me. They want 0.06. So I'm going to reject that. So they're asking 0.06 to mint it, but you can go to OpenSea and buy one for 0.035. So there's no reason to mint right now, unless you're trying to hit the jackpot and get a gold one. But like that's like, kind of silly to do that.
So what is there like? Could they even salvage this, or is that like so now project just that is this slow? Has it ever gone off after being that slow? Because this is really slow.
No, there's been I mean, it might be dead. It might be dead for sure. But there's actually not a ton. There's only 413 minted. So there's somebody at 0.035, there's somebody at 0.04. So like it's kind of, and there's somebody at 0.045, then 0.05. Like there's only like 8 of them before it gets to 0.1. So theoretically, like if something changed and people minted, like I mean, like if somebody bought like they should go and buy these 3 or 4 or 5 right now and see if they can raise the floor themselves. That's one thing I would suggest to them.
That's what a lot of projects do to sort of hack it. Is they'll have a portion of their profits.
Right.
But I mean, that's almost
actually a good feature of a lot of the roadmaps. Is we'll put 10% to buying up the floor. What that does is that races people to the floor to get theirs bought. Though a lot of times.
Wait, say that again, because I feel like we just stumbled across something that I had no idea.
Yeah, so some of the projects will have in their roadmap or even decide later on or whatever it is that they will, quote unquote, sweep the floor with a certain amount of money. What was that one project? Crypto Hodlers promised that they would sweep anything under like 0.0799. They actually did not come through on that promise, but they said that. But a lot of projects have been buying up some portion of the floor. They might say like 10% of proceeds goes to buying the floor, or half of the secondary royalties. Like there's all different ways to do it. Sorry, I need a drink of water here.
It's a little bit of a temporary price
It's temporary
manipulation
for sure.
move.
Yeah.
So it's almost something to sort of I subtract it against a project when you say that because, but that's just it's a positive for some people and a negative for others. But
yes, the only thing to consider there's two things they can do when they buy them. They can redistribute them or they can burn them. Now, if they burn them, that might be helpful because it reduces the supply.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt on the conversation. This is all super exciting and valuable. Thank you, Keen. I just have to step away, and I wanted to announce it to the room because I'm one of the hosts. By all means, please continue the merriment. Let your wine be merry and your night be full of strategizing and learning. This is very interesting. And Keen, I'll definitely hit you up on Twitter. Thanks again.
Yeah, we connected. That's perfect, man.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Appreciate everybody being here. I want to remind you that I made a second Instagram to tell the stories of people who applied for the Sorcerer Scholarship. So the bio link now has a Google form. If you're interested in sharing your story, we can work together to make a few pieces of content highlighting you and hopefully get that in front of the people reading the essays. And otherwise, everything's on the podcast. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks again.
See you, Jeremy.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Twitch. You know, it's funny. These videos get entirely archived onto YouTube because I'm simulcasting to YouTube. And so there would just be like 3 hours of I mean, the Clubhouse audio is there. Oh, I forgot. I was going to offer a giveaway to Clubhouse, but it's okay. We'll do it next time. Maybe I could take a snapshot of who's there or something and just randomize it. Can I see who's in here? No. Okay, let me.
So if you don't get a good start, it's tough because there's something. Everybody wants the new shiny thing.
Yeah, well, I feel like I don't know how to say thank you, but no thanks.
No, it's a pleasure. I'm gonna come in here more. I always see you guys, and I love the vibe here, so I'm gonna definitely try and come more.
Oh, I wasn't saying that to you.
Oh, okay.
Silly. I was saying that. I meant like I don't know how to. I feel like I already.
So thanks for being here, everybody. Bon voyage. Good night. My brain is ready to sleep. I see you next time. I owe you a couple songs. I don't have the gusto right now. So for those who asked for songs, I didn't see it in the moment, so I didn't just shift gears. I don't know if you did that during the podcast, but that would be kind of funny. 2 hours ago, that does kind of seem like while I was recording. So I appreciate Wow Super and ETH 2021 Girl telling me to do that during the podcast. I should do a musical podcast soon. Anyway, I just sold a Pudgy Penguin for 1.7 ETH, and that's incredible. I wasn't right about Penguin. Someone just gave me a Penguin, and I just flipped it for 1.7 ETH, and I can't believe it. I now have to make the conscious choice not to play with my whole bag and maybe play with like an ETH, because actually that one flip covers everything in the flip challenge. And it's strange because it was gifted to me, so it's not like I bought it and flipped it. However, it all being one pot, I've now secured my entire investment, and I still have like these 7 or 8 tokens. So I'm probably going to participate in a mint this week. But that literally just happened. I can't believe it. So cool stuff. I'm going to go now. I'll see you tomorrow. And someday we'll have an outro. Thanks for watching.